The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
All 650 acquisition P 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Imagine a disease that affects more than 10 million Americans, more than AIDS, Parkinson's, ALS, MS, and muscular dystrophy combined. Yet few know its name. Some years ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and after surgery, she developed lymphedema, LE, a cruel and chronic disease affecting 10 million Americans that occurs when the lymphatic system is compromised, leaving one with a lifetime of severe swelling and pain. What we found out later is its severity might have been lessened or possibly even prevented if only we were better informed. That's why I'm urging anyone facing cancer treatment to get educated. Talk to your doctor. Make it part of your cancer conversation. And if you have LE, share your story. With patients and doctors working together, we can learn and live. Learn more at lymphaticnetwork.org.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the long clocks, warning, take the 8:15 into the city.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend. It was a busy weekend in the world of sports. We're here to talk about it as we kick off the new work week. It's the Monday, April 29th, 2024 edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you, broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Their spring sale continues. Factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, patio furniture, so much more. Check them out at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. It's definitely grilling season. Some folks probably grilled over the weekend. Today could be a tough day to grill because it's going to be a rainy day. Right now it's 69. We're looking at 72 for a high, overcast skies and showers and scattered thunderstorms in the area. That chance of rain is high at 80%. Tonight, 62 degrees, thunderstorms early, then mainly cloudy after midnight. Tomorrow looks like we'll see some sun and clouds with a high of 81 degrees for your Tuesday. Coming up on the program today, as I mentioned, busy weekend. The NFL draft wrapped up with rounds 2 and 3 on Friday, rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday. We'll talk draft. We'll talk about some of the area players that were not drafted but have signed on with deals with respective NFL teams. We'll tell you where they're headed. Also, NBA playoff action. We have a lot to get into, including a game in which the Minnesota Timberwolves advanced to the second round of the playoffs. We had some ejections. We had some key injuries. We will discuss that on the program today. Penny Hardaway had his final coaches show on Action News 5, which is strange because it was such a delay from the regular season. But I think it was worthwhile because there were some interesting things he had to say about next year's team. We will talk about that. It was another successful EYBL event here in Memphis, and some dignitaries from the basketball world were in attendance over the weekend here in Memphis. We will discuss that. Another rough one for the Memphis Showboats who fall on Sunday. We will talk about that on the program today. Lots to get to, as I mentioned, and of course, you can be a part of the program by hitting us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines. You can call in, you can text in at 901-360-8255. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah? Not too bad?
Not too bad.
Good. Zach, how are you? How was your weekend? Doing okay?
Yeah, weekend's good.
Yeah? Do anything special?
No, it's just a ho-hum weekend.
Sometimes they're the best. Kick back, relax, and do nothing or little.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're the good ones.
Lazy Sundays are the best.
Lazy Sundays are good. Although not lazy for Eli, who called the Showboats game, not lazy for myself. I had the Memphis Tigers baseball game, and not a good weekend, let's just say, for area teams. Well, for some. The Showboats go down. The Memphis Tigers are swept by East Carolina. Was a good weekend, though, for soccer with the 901 FC team going down to Birmingham and beating their rivals 3-0. But I want to start with the National Football League draft. Obviously, on Friday, we talked about the first round, 6 quarterbacks selected, the big surprise with Atlanta selecting a quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., after signing Kirk Cousins to an unbelievably large contract, 5 weeks prior. That was the one that had the NFL world's heads turning. As far as Friday and Saturday are concerned, I don't know if there's anything that was earth-shattering. I'll give you some statistics here in just a moment. I guess there was a little drama, Eli, in when and who the next quarterback would be selected after the day one barrage of 6 QBs, and it wasn't until the 5th round. I thought for sure Spencer Rattler was going to go in the 2nd round, missed it by that much. He went in the 5th round, I believe pick number 150 overall, to the New Orleans Saints. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's, reading some of the things, some of the analysts talking about that, this is the way quarterbacks, these teams panic kind of in the first round and draft quarterbacks probably higher than they should, and then all of those teams that need the quarterback get theirs, and then it's kind of like nobody wants to take a quarterback on day 2 of the draft. But to see that big of a range, 138 picks to go between quarterbacks is pretty crazy.
Now, I agree with the panic notion. I absolutely do. It happens an awful lot. But in this particular draft, I'm wondering if it is panic, because all we kept hearing was Minnesota was going to move into position if he was available to take J.J. McCarthy, and they did. Atlanta had some strategy that most people disagree with. I don't think that was panic. We already know that whole deal. We talked about it on Friday, that they're looking at down the road. They think that they'll be a playoff team, so they won't be picking high for the future, next few years, while Cousins is the quarterback, presumably, if he stays injury-free and is effective. And so they got their quarterback for the future. I don't agree with it. Most people don't agree with it. But that was more strategic. And then Denver had their sights set on Bo Nix the whole time. So I don't know if there was the panic as it normally is, but I did not expect to go, as you said, 138 picks, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Between quarterbacks. Rattler, some people are saying, well, it goes back to the whole made-for-television show that he was on. And I think Spencer Rattler, there's something there that he should have been higher than 5th round, and maybe he'll show people. Jordan Travis goes in the 5th round of the New York Jets. Now, here's a guy coming off an injury, and a big injury, that they think the Jets, maybe down the road, Jordan Travis can be the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, certainly with both Rattler and Travis, there's a ton of physical ability there, and with Travis, hopefully he's able to get back fully healthy off the injury, all that, and we'll see what he could develop into in an NFL quarterback. With Rattler, the physical gifts are there. I think it's all Kind of the mental side of it. Can he, read the defenses, do the things he needs to be able to do at the NFL level in order to be a successful NFL quarterback? Certainly, it appears as though a lot of teams probably did not believe he's able to do that. And then at some point, it becomes, hey, those physical abilities are worth it at this point. And in the 5th round, to take a swing at a guy who was one of the highest rated quarterbacks in his class, everything else, like certainly, again, there's a lot to like there in the 5th round to take a swing at that. Certainly, you see what you can come up with.
Speaking of physical attributes, Joe Milton III from Tennessee taken by New England in the 6th round. So the Patriots took Drake May, number 3 overall, quarterback from North Carolina, and they grabbed Joe Milton as well. Milton, very vocal that he is playing quarterback. He's not going to go to the NFL to switch positions, tight end, wide receiver, whatever the case may be. That's what he's saying now. But Joe Milton has a lot of confidence in himself, and he's picked in the 6th round by New England.
Well, it's an interesting theory by Joe Milton.
Well, here's the deal. If it's either being in the league or not being in the league and you have to change positions, you're going to change positions 99.9% of the time. But again, it's a little too premature to talk about that. Devin Leary goes to Baltimore in the 6th round. And Michael Pratt, not until the 7th round, the quarterback from Tulane. I know Sam Hartman signed an undrafted free agent contract with Washington. So there's some other names, Slovis and others that weren't drafted. But I thought Michael Pratt would be the 8th quarterback off the board, ends up not going until the 7th round, and again, going to Green Bay.
I remember Devin Leary's last year at North Carolina State before he transferred, and people talking about what a great quarterback he was. And if I remember right, they talked about what a great, how the NFL teams loved him.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Loved him enough to take him in the 6th round a couple years later.
Things change. And not even overnight. What a season. What a difference it can make. But, he has a chance to prove them wrong. He's going to get that opportunity, as are all these guys. As far as the conference breakdown, as you would imagine, the SEC led the way with 60 players selected from the conference. The Pac-12, which is no longer, was number 2. And we talked about it all year as it was happening before our very eyes, how good a season it was for the Pac-12 before the implosion. 43 players selected from the Pac-12, but that's 17 less than the SEC. Big Ten had 42. The ACC had 41. Big 12, only 31 players selected in a 7-round draft. 31 players from the Big 12. There were 8 independents. Sun Belt had 6, and the American Conference came in with 5. None of them from the University of Memphis. As far as the team breakdown, Michigan, the defending national champions, leading the way with 13 players selected. Texas had 11. Alabama had 10. Florida State had 10. And Washington had 10. Interesting how those particular teams, produced the most players in the NFL draft. Let's recall what happened last year in the playoff and the one team that was denied a spot in the playoff in Florida State.
Washington, on Saturday, at one point, Washington took the lead, and then Michigan had a strong finish. Michigan came up from the outside of the strong finish to overtake them. But those two were battling for a while there.
Harbaugh ended up taking, one of his former players in the actual draft and then signed another one, at least one more, as a free agent?
Yeah, I think they only drafted the one.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Was it a linebacker? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. For Memphis, second straight year after a nice run of having at least one player drafted. Second straight year they did not have a player drafted. I was surprised. I'll be honest with you. I thought Blake Watson had done enough that he was going to get drafted. I don't know how many running backs in total were drafted, but it's just not a priority anymore. They're important.
They drafted 2 Michigan guys. Their last pick in the 7th round was also a Michigan wide receiver.
So they got 2 Michigan players drafted, and I believe he's already signed one as a free agent. Can't go wrong. He knows his players. They did pretty well at the collegiate level. But for Memphis, again, 2 straight years without a player being drafted. Blake Watson signs an undrafted free agent deal with Denver. He'll get, according to reports, $250,000 in salary, $25,000 signing bonus. Jalen Allen, also from Memphis, wasn't expected to be drafted, but he also signs a UDFA with Denver. So 2 Tigers going to Denver to try to make their presence felt. He gets $110,000 guaranteed. He gets a $10,000 signing bonus. I don't know the numbers for Joe Skates, the wide receiver, signed a UDFA with Jacksonville. And I know of another Tiger, Jeffrey Canton-Arku, who signed basically a mini camp deal with Miami. They'll have mini camps coming up for all the teams around the league. And if players perform admirably, they'll get an invite to camp and have an opportunity to possibly make a squad, or at least a practice squad. But that's it, unless I'm missing any Tigers right now, those 4. But Blake Watson was the one that I think we all thought would be drafted.
Yeah, surprising he wasn't. And I said on Friday I thought the Cowboys would take him in the 7th round with one of their 2 picks. And it's set up perfectly because they still had not drafted a running back at that point. And I thought in their last pick they might certainly take a swing at him, but they did not. They ended up not drafting a running back at all. Cowboys apparently going to go with no running back this year. It's an interesting new look they're going to go with. But certainly surprising that the Blake Watson wouldn't be drafted at all. Like, again, I just think, especially with the way teams want running backs now who can catch the ball, like it doesn't make sense to me that he was not drafted.
I was surprised there, but aren't the Cowboys there? They got all their chips back into the Zeke Elliott corner, don't they?
He is. He will be back with the team. Looks like they will probably get that deal done. And they got Rico Dowdle back from last year, but everybody thought that they would take a running back in this draft at some point, and they chose not to do that.
Yeah, Zeke will have to pass a physical, but presuming that happens, he will be a Dallas Cowboy once again. Mr. Irrelevant this year. Can you really be Mr. Irrelevant if you played for Alabama? Aren't they all relevant on that team? Jalen Key, defensive back, pick number 257 by the – who picked him? What team picked Mr. Irrelevant this year? Jets? I think it was the Jets.
Yes, it was the Jets, I believe.
Yeah. So Jalen Key will now be swooned over. He'll be in that parade out in California. He'll get all the accolades that you get as Mr. Irrelevant. And the New York Jets are hoping that Jalen Key will become an impact player like Mr. Brock Purdy, who will always be put on that pedestal as the most productive Mr. Irrelevant in history, although there have been a few that have done well and have made squads. But to me, you're picked Mr. Irrelevant, the last player picked in the draft, and you played at Alabama, you're relevant.
I think my favorite pick of the entire draft is the fact that there was one punter selected, and it's the one from Iowa, which I think is the most appropriate thing in their world. Although the one thing with the Iowa punter, it's kind of like when you draft the running back from these schools that run the ball a lot. You just worry about the wear and tear on that leg of the punter from Iowa. He punted a lot in college. Like I don't know how many years he's got left. You just wonder, how many good punts does a leg have in it? He's used a lot of them in college.
Yeah, what type of tread is left on that wheel there? I believe there were 3 place kickers picked.
Yes.
Some other interesting
But the punter
picks.
went before all of them.
Yes, the punter went before all of them. There were some other interesting picks from Division II and a couple of other, maybe an NAIA player that was picked. But for the most part, it wasn't real dramatic, this draft. The top teams from college produced the most players that were drafted. There was a little bit of intrigue with the quarterback situation. We had the running backs that did not go in the first round. We did not have a defensive player go in the first 14 picks, which is keeping up with the trend of this being all offense, and the team that can play a little bit of defense and still can put points on the board is probably going to be a team that has a great chance to win it all.
Well, the thing you see is that teams understand the importance of offensive linemen, and they just kept drafting them. they just kept on drafting offensive linemen after offensive linemen, tackles flying off the board everywhere, records set basically with every offensive line possible thing you can do in the draft. Teams, they cannot get enough offensive linemen at this point. Just keep on drafting them and figuring some will work, some won't, but if we get enough of them, we have to figure out something out of this combination.
There was some area players that were selected from Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Arkansas, but nobody high in the draft.
No.
And that's not usually the case. Normally we'll have somebody from the region that'll be selected very early, most likely the first round, but that was not the case this past season. Okay, so that's the draft. And again, if you have any questions or comments, hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines, 901-360-8255. Since we're on the topic of football, let's get to this before we take our first break. Get it out of the way. Your Memphis Showboats, ladies and gentlemen, fall to the Michigan Panthers 35-18 at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. So the home cooking did not matter. They've now lost 4 straight after an impressive opening game win. Troy Williams, the quarterback, starting for the injured Case Cookus, did some good things, did some bad things. 3 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. Showboats had 4 turnovers, and they are in deep trouble now with Birmingham coming in this upcoming weekend, and Birmingham just doesn't lose. So, Mr. Voice of the Showboats, I was taken away watching baseball and broadcasting a baseball game yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to watch at all. What was the deal? I guess the turnovers?
Yeah, they have continued to just really kill themselves. Turnovers had not been an issue. They had only had 5 turnovers on the year coming in, but in this game, they turn it over on their first drive of the game with the fumble that leads to a touchdown. The second drive of the game for Michigan, not a turnover, but essentially a turnover, when Michigan runs a fake punt on 4th and 12 from their own 34-yard line, and they convert that.
Jeez.
That's essentially a turnover. That's a possession. They take that down and score a touchdown. If you get a stop there, you've got the ball inside their own 40 or inside their 40 with a chance to go tie or take the lead, but unable to get that stop. They go down and score a touchdown. You're down 19-0 seemingly in the blink of an eye. The fumble inside the 20 that's returned all the way to the 5-yard line sets them up for another touchdown instead of you getting points. It's been this repeating theme of just negative plays, sacks especially, and turnovers. And they gave up 7 more sacks yesterday, which is more than Michigan had on the season coming in. That is 18 sacks, I believe, in the last 3 games. Or 18 or 19 sacks.
And Williams is much more mobile than Cook is.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't run a lot. Like he stayed, and there was a couple times yesterday I thought he could have possibly taken off and run, and he didn't. But it's and then it's funny because every time they pull back within 7, get a chance, and you're thinking okay, and then it seems like every time they get in these situations where they've got a drive, you're like, okay, this is a big drive right here. Go down and score, you're in a good position. They always start that drive with a negative play. Like it's immediately 2nd down and 12 or 2nd down and 13. And yesterday they got the ball, they had a chance, and they go negative play, penalty, and it's 2nd down and 17, and the drive's pretty much over. And it's just that it's self-inflicted wounds. They just cannot seem to kind of get out of their own way. They have been just absolutely dominated in fourth quarters. They've been out. They finally got their first second half touchdowns of the year yesterday. They got those in the third quarter, but they did not score in the fourth quarter again. They've scored 8 fourth quarter points for the season through 5 games. And 2 of those were a safety they got at Birmingham when that game was completely out of reach. They've kicked 2 field goals offensively in the fourth quarter of games through 5 weeks. 63-8, I believe it is. They're being outscored in fourth quarters. for the season. And the defense, I just don't know what, like the defense was great week 1. They were great through the first half of week 2. And since that second half where San Antonio rallied and pulled off the miracle comeback, the defense just hasn't been able to really get stops. And I don't understand it because the defense was great last year. Last 2 weeks, they had been the number 1 team against the run defensively. Last 2 weeks, St. Louis and Michigan have run all over them. They just defensively are struggling. And the defense, a lot of it, I think some of the lights they've been on the field a lot the last 2 weeks because the offense can't seem to keep anything going. But it's just it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. They hit the 82-yard pass right before halftime, which is a horrendous play by Michigan to let them do that. And that kind of got the spark. And then, but in the second half, they come out and let Michigan hit a deep ball right down the middle to the tight end, and they score touchdowns. Like, you're like, okay, come out, get a stop, get the ball, maybe you can get the momentum. But no, you let them hit a deep ball right down the middle to the tight end inside the 5. They punch it in, and immediately the lead goes right back to what it was.
The team hasn't recovered since that meltdown in Game 2, and the elephant in the room is the fans. There's nobody there, and when the team is struggling the way they are, is not enhancing them to want to come and support. And that doesn't help either. So it's rough right now. You're halfway through the season. You have 3 more home games. You're 1-4. And again, the quality of football in the UFL, I think, is pretty good. I think it's a pretty good league. But again, if you're going to pay your money to come out and see, even with very reasonable priced tickets, in fact, downright reasonable, you're not going to come out. You're not going to be, especially get the threat of rain, and it rained a little bit, and then you got a team that's struggling the way they are. It's a rough time right now for the Showboats. Folks, you want to get charged up? Well, come on out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. They'll charge you up. Test drive one of their new EV Blazers. It's still Chevy truck season. If you're ready for a new Silverado, all the Silverados have financing down to 2.9. That's for 72 months. Thousands back in cash and trade. New Equinox and Trailblazers with 1.9% financing. Let me say that again. New Equinox and Trailblazers with just 1.9% financing. That is incredible. No payments for 90 days because your good credit deserves it. Now, you want a pre-owned vehicle? They have them for you. Ram trucks, Jeeps, Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverse with that third-row seating. If they don't have what you're looking for, and again, that'll be surprising because they have a lot of different vehicles down there. Just ask Kevin or Jeff. They promise they'll find it for you. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, you get an extra $500 bonus when you purchase a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be Olive Branch. What are you driving around this summer? Make sure you're driving around in luxury, in comfort, and that's what you get with a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Go visit them today or go to allstarautogroup.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Regions Bank presents Live at the Garden at Radians Amphitheater June 6th with Dierks Bentley. This summer's lineup also includes the Goo Goo Dolls, John Fogerty with George Thorogood, Sam Hunt, and Styx with Foreigner. All season and individual tickets on sale 10 a.m. Monday. Live at the Garden is also presented by South State Duncan Williams, AutoZone, True Green, The Lily Company, Gossip Motors, Pro Show, and Mahaffey Events. For more information, go to radiansamp.com.
It's time to have a good time at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Olive Branch and Carterville. Come by for half-price happy hour 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with domestic drafts and $3 snacks. Then try one of Mugshot's 19 specialty burgers, including the Mugshot Burger. Finish it in 12 minutes and it's free. Plus, you get a free shirt. Mugshots in Olive Branch, 6400 Goodman Road, and Mugshots in Carterville, 656 West Poplar. So cheers to great food, good drinks, and fun company at Mugshots Grill and Bar, where you're always having a good time.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Free. Who doesn't love free? With MyLowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Tuning into this station was the first best thing you have done today. This is Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with you, Mallory, and we are both with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors. You, what's the next thing we can advise people to do if they are selling their home?
The next best thing? Remember, Sheldon, the real estate market is changing, and you need honest, forthright help navigating the new environment. Doing it on your own is like driving a car in a blinding snowstorm.
Correct, you. The upcoming changes will mean a lot for both buyers and sellers, and that's why we always advise people to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that we are one of them.
Sheldon, 2 to 3 real estate brokers? Really? Like 2 to 3 tee shots you always take?
Yes, you. It's important to have a choice, whether in real estate or in golf. Now, back into the fairway, and to find out how you will move you, call him at 497-9756, or find out why they often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's 483-0546.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. We're watching it pick up a little bit more volume just in the last few minutes on 385 Billmore Parkway as you come inbound, passing Riverdale all the way up to 240. Starting to load up at times in certain sections of Midtown on 240 North, especially over here at Lamar. Still moving right now. 40 East across the Hernando de Soto Bridge coming over from West Memphis. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. Just underway on this Monday morning. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd, Sports 56 Mornings. Talked NFL draft in our first segment. Talked a little showboats as well. We got the NBA playoffs to get to. We're going to talk about Penny Hardaway's comments, the EYBL event that happened over the weekend in Memphis. I did have to mention this, Eli. We don't do a ton on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Did you happen to see or even care about the result with the Nashville Predators?
I did not.
Okay. So this will be new to you. And for probably a lot of people listening to the show, but the only reason I brought it up, and not to rub it in because the Nashville team lost. No, I'm hoping that the Predators do well. They're a Tennessee team. The Predators...
Go Team Tennessee.
Predators were down 2-1 in the series. First round playoff series against the Vancouver Canucks. They're playing at home. They grab a 3-1 lead in the third period. Okay, they score 12 seconds in. So with now under 3 minutes to go, they're leading 3-1. They give up a goal at the 17-11 mark. So 2:49 to go. They're up 3-2. Final 2 minutes now. They're closing out. They got an empty net. Nashville, I think the guy, I don't know if there's a backhander or whatever, he flips it. It hits the post. It's like an inch from going in. It hits the post and goes awry. So they still have the lead 3-2, but that would have nailed it, right? That would have nailed the victory. Here comes Vancouver. They pull the goalkeeper, right? The goalkeeper was already pulled. 8 seconds to go. At 19:52, they score the tying goal. They tie it up, and then in overtime, they win it. And I believe it was a minute into overtime, if I'm not mistaken. They score 3 goals in the last 4 minutes. Third period and the start of overtime. They beat Nashville. They beat the Predators 4-3. And they now grab a 3-1 series lead. And that was after the whole pomp and circumstance of the catfish. You ever seen the catfish that they throw on the ice in Nashville?
I've seen something, yes.
They had one, I don't know if it was a female country artist, drinking, they, I think, filled up a catfish, a real catfish with beer.
I'm on board with that.
And just drank out of the catfish.
That's good stuff right there.
Man, oh man, that'll be a new recipe pretty soon for some kind of beer or alcohol. But they lose that game. Just, you talk about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. That was the agony of defeat for Nashville. So now on the brink of elimination, down 3-1. Because in Game 5, they're going to try to bring it
Drink
up.
out of a catfish again?
And?
Stave.
They're going to try to stave.
You know, we were talking about the showboats, and again this week, the Birmingham comes in, and Birmingham just continues to win, like just dominant. And how good it is for Birmingham. Skip Holtz, after their game Saturday, in which this time he went back to Adrian Martinez, and Adrian Martinez plays the whole game, and Martinez runs for 130.
What's up with that?
So he was asked about it again after the game, and he said, like, the first 2 games, he went with both of them. He would go like every 2 drives. And then both of them kind of said it's hard to get into a rhythm, so he then just decided that now, like Tuesday and Wednesday, they split the snaps in practice, and Thursday morning he makes the decision of whose game it will be, and they will be the quarterback for that entire game unless they're hurt. And so he went Martinez against Memphis, and he was awesome. Then he went to Corral the next game, and then he went to Martinez again this week. He said, I don't know who I will go with next week. We will make that decision again on Thursday morning. Like, that's how good life is for Skip Holtz and Birmingham. He's just making his quarterback decision every Thursday morning, and all they do is they go out and just dominate every game.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it really matter?
Like, it's
he
crazy.
Can quarterback.
I mean, Martinez has been, in the 2 games Martinez has started and gone the distance, he's been awesome. And Corral was bad, but Martinez has been, like, awesome in his 2 games. And he's not guaranteed to start this week. Like, it could very well be Matt Corral Saturday morning here in Memphis, or it might be Adrian Martinez. That will be decided Thursday morning by Skip Holtz based on Tuesday and Wednesday's practice.
All right, give me the background again. Last year, they won their 2nd straight USFL title. The quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, went to the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, Alex Magoo. He was the MVP of the league.
Okay. So in the free agency draft, whatever the draft is called, when Memphis got Cookus, right? Whatever the offseason draft thing is, right? Where Memphis got Cookus. It wasn't just free agency, right? They picked, right?
No, that was just for guys who were in the league. Like, they had a dispersal draft of guys who were in the league last year that were on teams that folded. Then they had another draft of USFL and XFL guys combined who were out that weren't picked in the other stuff.
Okay. So out of those 2 things, how did they get Corral and Martinez? That's what I'm asking.
Those are free. Those are like those are free agent. They weren't in those drafts.
Okay, so they were just regular free agent signings.
Yeah, they are. And it's never been really made clear exactly how the teams, at least it was in the USFL, and I think it still is for the UFL, but although nobody ever really has explained it, like, you have certain NFL teams, and I think certain colleges that, like, guys that like if an
Like
NFL team cuts a guy, like you have the first rights to him.
So it's like a territorial.
And I think they do it at the colleges too, but I'm not positive on the colleges. But I think there are some things of you have the first dibs on certain guys from various teams. I know, and again, in USFL, they definitely did it for NFL teams. And I think the UFL is doing that, but it's never really, they don't make it real clear as to exactly how that whole thing works.
All right, wanted to switch gears. Coach Penny Hardaway and the Coach Penny Hardaway Show on WMC Action News 5. The final show, and I'm not sure when they taped this, but it couldn't have been that long ago because the questions that we're all asking about David Jones and about the roster, and John Calipari was even brought up at Arkansas. So it obviously had to be after that news where Cal left Kentucky to go to Arkansas. Very strange that it's weeks removed from the end of the regular season to have the final coaches show, but it worked out perfectly. So we have not heard from Penny Hardaway. We haven't heard word one about the Tigers in the offseason and what's to come. And so he touched on a number of topics, including David Jones, and it's still, as everybody else believes it is, that there's a good chance he could come back, depending on how he's evaluated for the NBA. And right now, if you look around at mock drafts, he's not there. He's not even in the second round. So, and I think he should be, but Penny says he's still confident that he can get David Jones. He also talked about putting together this roster. He's already added a number of players. He still has a number of players to add, but he says he expects to have this roster done and all the players on campus by early June. He expects most, if not all, of his new players will be better suited for his coaching philosophy. And he expects most, if not all, of the newcomers to Memphis, they will have a keen understanding of how important every game on the schedule will be. So that still falls on the coach from last year if they didn't understand the importance of every game from Rice to Arkansas to whoever. But that's some of the things that was a problem last year with this team, that he says he'll nip them in the bud, and he will make sure that they are together early. They don't have the international trip this year, but if they're on campus working together, whether it be pickup games, workouts, things like that, hopefully they'll find that camaraderie. But he's still putting together his team. He said, yes, last year was the most taxing season for him. He said it was really tough. But he also talked about John Calipari and his move to Arkansas, and that he feels that there is a better chance now that they could reach an agreement on a series. I still think, I'll believe it when I see it with Cal. I don't know if Cal wants to bring his team, Kentucky, Arkansas, it doesn't matter, to Memphis and play a home and home. He's a neutral court kind of guy. But Penny feels more confident now that he's at Arkansas because he says the fans will demand it. There's a lot of Arkansas fans here. The regional rivalry makes sense. Although Memphis and Arkansas haven't played a ton of times recently, he thinks it could happen.
Well, it's also just, Kentucky plays in like the Champions Classic. Like Kentucky's a brand that is in a lot more other neutral court type settings, tournaments, stuff like that than what Arkansas is. So there's more openings on Arkansas's schedule than there is on a Kentucky schedule and on a year-to-year basis.
Yes, there's more opportunities to get it done. I still am a little iffy whether or not I believe John will want to come and play here in Memphis. Again, he's always been a neutral court kind of guy. Or, yeah, you can come and play at Bud Walton Arena. But if Penny can get that done, he's certainly going to try. There's no doubting what Penny has tried in the past and will continue to try as far as putting together a very attractive non-conference schedule. Penny also talked about turning down the invitation to go to the NIT. And this I did not know. And I'm reading from Jason Munster in the Commercial Appeal. Again, this all comes from the Coaches Show comments. Following the Tigers' season-ending loss to Wichita State, Hardaway said he did not intend to accept an NIT bid, largely because his mother, Faye, was in the hospital battling throat cancer. He said on Sunday, that is only a small part of the health struggles she has endured since the summer of 2023. She's gone through COVID, pneumonia, congestive heart failure, throat cancer, blocked intestines, LASIK surgeries, all these things going on and still battling and fighting through. So certainly want to send our thoughts and prayers to Faye. I did not know that Penny's mom had been struggling like this with her health, so I want to wish her well. But just some of the things that Penny had to say, it was good to actually get a little bit of clarity and to hear from him via a television show, but to get some comments once the season ended, because he went basically in hibernation.
Yeah, which is what he normally does. He does do a ton of media to begin with, and usually once the season's over, we don't really hear a whole lot from him for the most part. Like a lot of those things, though, like, last year, the whole Dominican Republic trip was supposed to build that chemistry, and so chemistry wasn't going to be an issue last year. And what ended up happening? Chemistry was an issue. So, talking about getting everybody on campus and getting all this, and then everybody's going to be on the same page. We're not going to have those issues. Well, I'll believe that when I see it. Every single year, there's been chemistry issues, and anytime you're putting together an entirely new roster, it's just hard not to have probably some chemistry issues at some point, especially when it's a bunch of guys who are on one-year auditions.
You're absolutely right, and not to make excuses. In the last couple of years, at least 2 years that I can remember, he didn't complete his roster until late in August or early in September. And this time he plans to have this thing put to bed in the next month or so. We'll see if he does. So that's number one. And number two, that whole trip to the Dominican Republic was weird. David Jones is playing for the Dominican Republic national team, which he's a part of, and not playing for Memphis. And I think there were a couple of other guys that weren't in Memphis yet, so they weren't on the trip. Then there was the whole Mikey Williams debacle. It was set up to be a disaster. The only thing that was, there was many things that was strange about last year. But the one thing that stands out to me was that despite all of that, they start the season out like gangbusters. As in years past, when they've struggled in that early season tournament, which they need to be good, they need to win some of these, if not most of the non-conference games against relevant opponents, because you're not going to be able to help yourself too much in the league. You can only hurt yourself pretty much. And they bucked the trend, and last year they did exactly what they were supposed to do and what they hadn't done in the past, and everything was going to be easy street after that going into the conference. It didn't turn out that way. So we'll see what happens here. If things can be turned around, he can have the chemistry, they could be on the same page. I like the team he's putting together. I'm not looking at this team so far and going, wow, this is a tournament team, a Final Four team. He's got a long way to go to fill the roster. But I like that he's taking his time and he's looking at different areas of concern rather than just trying to hoard in the most talent possible. Well, folks, Smoke Slam, the world's ultimate barbecue showdown, is coming to Tom Lee Park May 16th through the 18th. Is just a couple of weeks away from that great event down on the river in downtown Memphis. They are putting the festival back in barbecue. More than 50 teams competing. That's 50 competing for the largest cash purse in barbecue history. All types of entertainment, live music from the likes of Tone Loc, Rob Bass, Young MC, DJ M, Walk, the group War, fantastic. The Barkays, historic, right, with Memphis connections, and St. Paul and the Broken Bones, just to name a few. A fan-first experience like no other. Celebrity chef live cooking demos. You can indulge in mouth-watering barbecue samples from the greatest pit masters in the country. They'll have fireworks every night, a carnival with a Ferris wheel, carousel, and games for the kids. Single-day general admission tickets only $25, and a 3-day GA pass is only $65. Take advantage of it. It is going to be an event. Go to smokeslam.com for more details and tickets. Smoke Slam, May 16th through the 18th in Tom Lee Park on the river in downtown Memphis. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, We are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
This Mother's Day, let's celebrate the woman who held our scraped knees, cheered our victories, and nurtured our dreams, and show her the love she deserves. Of course, there's no single gift that can truly express the depths of our love, but this Mother's Day at Genesis Diamonds, we'll help you find something truly special. From sparkling diamonds to timeless pearls to colored gemstones, we have it all. And the trusted experts at Genesis are here to help you find the perfect piece that helps you say, "Thank you, Mom." It's a perfect time to see the amazing collection of exclusive and acclaimed jewelry designers at Genesis, like Gabriel & Company, Shy Creation, Tacori, A. Jaffe, Simon G., and more. You can find all the mothers in your life something unique, handcrafted and beautiful. Jewelry she can wear and appreciate every day. Mom deserves the best. Let us help make this Mother's Day truly unforgettable with something affordable yet timeless. Happy Mother's Day from Genesis Diamonds. On Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Happy Mother's Day from Gould's. Give the gift of relaxation, give the gift of style, give the gift of Gould's this Mother's Day with a Gould's gift card. Buy a gift card for $120 and receive $20 off May 1st through May 12th. It's always the right size and fit for professional salon services, spa services, and the best selection of exclusive hair and skincare products in Memphis. Pick up a gift card for Mom at any Gould's or go to GouldSalonSpa.com and use code MothersDay24 to purchase online. GouldSalonSpa.com. Gould Salon Spa, turning heads since 1932.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
From everything I've read and heard, the Nike EYBL events in Memphis at the Memphis Sports and Events Center was a hit. Thousands and thousands of people that were there, teams from all over the country, and a lot of money thrown into the Memphis economy. That continues to shine, the Memphis Sports and Events Center, for all types of great events. But this particular one, featuring some of the best players and teams from around the country that play EYBL for Nike, 17 years old and younger. And then you had the dignitaries that were there to watch sons and other relatives and things of that nature. Guys like, you may have heard of them. Carmelo Anthony. Ever heard of Carmelo Anthony? Hakeem Olajuwon. Ring a bell? Kenny Smith. Kenny the Jet Smith. All were there, according to the reports, watching the event over in Memphis. And also from a local standpoint, the Team Thad program with Norton Hurd, who runs that, does such a great job. They went 2-1 in the event this weekend. They have a stud, a 5-star kid named Jasper Johnson, who had limited cut his list down to 10 for 2025. And they include all the big-time programs. But according to Parth Upadhyay from the Daily Memphian, his story, and spoke to Jasper and to Norton, that he's certainly going to look at Memphis and give them consideration. I think he talked about his father being a big fan of Penny Hardaway. So Memphis has nobody signed for 2025. They're still trying to put together a 2024 team, for goodness sakes. But Jasper Johnson is a possibility, I guess, even though he had cut his list to 10 and it did not include Memphis initially. But congratulations, everybody, with this EYBL event. Again, that's money in the local economy. That's what you want to see. That's why they built that.
Yeah, I mean, that facility is awesome. And it's great to be able to get events like that or any of these types of events. I know there's a lot of events that go on over there. And again, it's a fantastic facility. So there should be a lot of events that are held there.
Yeah, you think about over the years, junior events that have come to Memphis, that have come to Mike Rose and still come to Mike Rose for soccer. And I know they no longer have the baseball facility in Cordova that they used to have, which brought some big-time tournaments. But down in South Haven, they do. And they continue to bring these events in. That brings money to the local economy. And here in Memphis, again, this center, if you have not seen it, folks, it's incredible. First of all, it's beautiful. Hopefully it stays that way. And second of all, it's big. It's large. Has a lot of courts, a lot of different. We called some games in there, you and I, last summer. It's very impressive. So continue to bring those teams in, continue to bring these tournaments in, and continue to bring in money to the local economy.
And when these folks come in from out of town to go to events there, they get to walk out and see the beautiful Mid-South Coliseum right there in front by their very eyes. It's beautiful. It's great for them to be able to
breathtaking.
To take a tour of that and see just how beautiful that is as well. It's
What's
really,
the number to call
really
to sign
amazing.
up?
It's
what number
all
do you
my
call?
friends that have brought their kids down for events tell me, man,
Right.
that building there next door, just such a beautiful thing to see. We're really, really glad we got an opportunity to see that.
Well, how would you rank them? Would you go Graceland, Civil Rights Museum, Must, Sun Studio, and the Coliseum? Which one would you put first? Would you put the Coliseum?
The Coliseum. I mean, can be the only reason we won't knock it down.
The great warriors used to battle there for years. I'm sorry. That's a wrong Coliseum. The eyesore continues.
And soon we'll have a brand new looking stadium over here, a brand new facility here, and an old dilapidated building right in between. But gosh darn it, don't knock it down.
We're going to have a hotel. We're going to have shops and things like that. I guess is in the game plan. Restaurants over at Liberty Park, doing a real good job, sprucing it up. But the spaceship continues to sit there. It will not fly off into space.
This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Getting this time of year is great grilling season, prime grilling season this time of year with the weather that we get. And if you're going to be out grilling, you do want to do it on the best grill there is. That would be the Big Green Egg. Absolutely amazing. All the different things that you can do, whether you're cooking low and slow and smoking some ribs or whatever it is, or maybe you're searing a steak at 700 degrees, anything in between. The Big Green Egg does it and makes it very easy on you. Plus, it's the last grill you'll ever need to buy. It comes with that lifetime warranty. The eggs, 7 different sizes to choose from. The egg accessories, all kinds of different accessories for you, including rubs and sauces and charcoal, all of those things that you need. They've got them for you. BigGreenEgg.com or go to the Ace Hardware locations around town, Hamilton Fireplace. They're distributors of the Big Green Egg, and you can see them in person, the Big Green Egg.
The Zeke deal is official, according to Pro Football Talk. Ezekiel Elliott returns to the Cowboys. 1-year deal, $3 million with $2 million of it guaranteed. When we come back, we're talking NBA playoffs. The $260 million payroll of the Phoenix Suns got them nothing. They are swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll talk NBA playoffs. And we'd love to hear from you as we talk NBA playoffs. Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines by calling in or texting in at 901-360-8255. Hour 2 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like, I couldn't do pull-ups. I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 do it signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 do it signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Is your home screaming for an upgrade? Listen closely, because Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing is about to make your day. First up, say goodbye to cold showers and hello to endless hot water with our tankless water heater upgrade. Not only does it save space and energy, but it also keeps the hot water flowing exactly when you need it. And here's the kicker. Switch from your old tank to a sleek, efficient tankless water heater now, and Choate's will hand you a $500 credit. Yep, you heard that right. $500 back in your pocket. But wait, there's more. Clogged drains are a hassle no homeowner wants to deal with. With Choate's special offer, get your drains cleared for just $93, or it's absolutely free. That's our guarantee to make it drain, or you don't pay a dime. So why wait? Call Choate's today at 347-8086 or visit us online at choateshvac.com. And remember, Choate's, let our family serve your family.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice, and you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown Commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts. The best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the Commissary.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. They're in the process of moving a crash a few minutes ago in the construction zone over there on Germantown Road at Wolf River Boulevard. Again, it was limping along over there just a couple of minutes ago as they clean up a crash, Walnut Grove at Senga, as traffic volume builds out here as we stare at it live on 240 East over here at Poplar. Be careful here throughout the day. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:04 the time, hour 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings. Welcome in if you're just tuning in on this Monday morning. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, their spring sale continues at 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. 70 degrees, overcast skies. We're going to get rain today. Showers and thunderstorms likely. And then tonight, 60 for a low. Thunderstorms continuing into the evening. Will give way to partly cloudy skies after midnight. Then we should have a dry Tuesday and Wednesday, hopefully, fingers crossed. 81 degrees for a high tomorrow with sunshine coming out, and then more sunshine on Wednesday. A little bit of clouds. 87 for your high on Wednesday. Second hour of the program brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your family's jeweler. 4900 Poplar in the heart of East Memphis, right between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. We're a couple of weeks away from Mother's Day. When you're thinking something special for mom, think jewelry. You can't go wrong. Beautiful rings and watches and bracelets and necklaces and earrings, plus estate and vintage jewelry at James Gaddis Jewelers, so check them out today. Every Monday and Friday, James Gaddis Jewelers brings you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know Sasha Schmidt, now I didn't know this, so I don't know if you're going to know this, but Sasha Schmidt, who is a track and field star for the University of Memphis, broke the Memphis shot put record, the all-time record, with a toss of 63 feet, 7.5 inches at the Memphis Tiger Invitational over the weekend. Schmidt broke the previous record held by All-American Luke Vaughn, who did that back in 2018. James Gaddis Jewelers, they are your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Check them out at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick. All right, let's talk some NBA playoffs. A lot of action over the weekend. And let's begin in the East, where the New York Knicks went into Philadelphia and beat the 76ers 97-92 to grab a commanding 3-1 series lead. I'll be honest, I was completely wrong about this one. Jalen Brunson, 47 points, the high-scoring game of his playoff career. And to add insult to injury, you had the Knicks faithful that made the trek, the short trek from New York to Philadelphia, and took over the arena. And as a guy who grew up in the shadows of Philadelphia, I got to tell you, Eli, very, very disappointing. As was Joel Embiid disappointed that there were just too many Knicks fans in there as opposed to Sixers fans as New York gets the win by 5.
I could understand why Joel Embiid would be disappointed in that. You would think in the postseason, and again, going into a postseason, which they're pretty high hopes for Philadelphia with him back healthy. They weren't your average 7 seed, so people thought they had a chance to make a run, and to not have your home fans there, to let the Knicks fans take over the arena like that, I would be upset if I was Joel Embiid as well. Unfortunately for Philadelphia, they couldn't make a shot, and that's a bad thing in basketball. shooting 35% from the field. Going to be tough to get it done. And Jalen Brunson, he's pretty darn good. And he is a hell of a competitor. Like he's one of those guys you want on your side. You want in the foxhole with you. And he was absolutely terrific. And basically you just kind of got like he wasn't going to let them lose that game.
They're without Julius Randle, as people know, who's out for the remainder of the season. When they had signed Jalen Brunson, I thought they overpaid for the guy. But I'm wrong. Brunson, I remember his father. I remember his father at Temple, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Rick Brunson. This kid is incredible. I mean, as you said, a competitor. He has that will to win. 47 points. He hits his free throws. He goes 9 of 11. He gets 10 assists to go with the 47 points. Now, neither team shot the ball well from deep. The Sixers didn't shoot the ball well anywhere. But the Knicks only made 7 threes. They were 7 of 27, so it's not like they won with a barrage of three-point shots made. In fact, the Sixers made more threes than them. They were 9 of 33. Embiid went for 27, added 10 rebounds, had 6 assists, got 3 steals, blocked 2 shots. Maxey at 23 and 6 assists. And Oubre went for 19, so they gave him a little bit of contribution, but just not enough. I don't know. I mean, I thought the Sixers would come back. They'd win this game. They'd tie the series. I still like them, even though the Knicks would have the home court advantage. But now I think I put money on the wrong horse here. The Knicks look good. I don't know how far the Knicks can go without Randall. But they have guys like Anunoby, who I like a lot, had 16 points and 14 rebounds. Josh Hart, that guy didn't shoot the ball well. He was 0 for 7 from the field, but he had 17 rebounds and 5 assists. So he did other things. They're really stepping up. They play hard for Thibodeau, but the fandom just amazes me that Philadelphia wasn't there to support their team like they should have. I'll ask you the question. Your team, you live and die by your team, and they're in the postseason, and you have tickets. How much are you willing to take to give up those tickets? I mean, is there an amount that you would give your tickets up for? There are some people that would not give their tickets up. Now, I guess if it's some crazy amount, like $1 million, they would. But for the most part,
no, if I'm a big fan, I'm a diehard fan of a team, and I got postseason tickets, I'm going to go to the game.
That's what I'm asking. Zach, I'll bring you in this for this question as well. You are a diehard fan of, say, team, and
especially the NBA, because let's be honest, I mean, the regular season games get a little monotonous. I mean, the postseason is what it's all about. I'm definitely going to the postseason games.
It's all about the postseason in every sport, in my opinion. But you have season tickets. It doesn't really matter. Now it's the postseason. So you got tickets for these playoff games. And somebody's going to offer you a certain amount of money. Is there an amount of money that you would take to give up those tickets?
Like, for the playoffs?
Yes. You got playoff tickets right now. You're going to that game. Let's just use that as an example. Last night. Because those those Knicks fans coming into Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They're purchasing those tickets from fans that are Philadelphia season ticket holders that put them up for bid.
Oh, yeah. It's like no less than 1,000.
Let's say somebody offers you got 2 tickets, season tickets. Okay, but you got 2 tickets for the playoff game last night. It's game number 4. It's at home. Somebody offers you $25 for each of your 2 tickets. That's $5,000. $2,500 for each ticket. Are you taking the money?
First of all, it depends what you paid for the ticket.
Okay, whatever the going rate is, I'm sure it's fairly expensive. It's Philadelphia. I don't know what the rate would be. But let's say it averaged out to $350 a ticket. Okay, so you're $700 in out of your pocket, and they're offering you $5,000 for those 2 tickets. So you're going to profit $4,300 just from that exchange right there. Do you do it?
Yes.
See, I mean, what's a true fan? Is he still a true fan? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. But is a true fan a fan that's willing to be bought off?
Well, the thing
or is that just being human?
I mean, there are going to be fans who can't go to every single playoff game. So there's going to be games where they sell their tickets.
No question.
I can't. And if you're putting them on the secondary market and you're going to take whatever you can get for them, you're not going to care whether it's a Philadelphia fan. Now, I would, some fans will make the effort first of maybe selling them to somebody they know who is a 76ers fan or whatever. But most people are just, if you're trying to get rid of tickets, most people are just going to put them on the secondary market and say, pay this price, whatever, and be done with it, and not have to try and shop them and find somebody. They're just going to take whatever they can get and move along. If you're going to most of the playoff games, but you miss a game because you just can't go to that game, I'm completely fine with that.
I'm not talking about
if
that.
You're selling every single playoff game, well, that just to me is a little weird. Why get season tickets if you're not going to go to the playoff games?
Right. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you have tickets to a playoff game. It's your favorite team. You live and die by this team. You've spent good money, but now you're offered incredible money let's just say you even know these guys are coming in are Knicks fans. They want to purchase those tickets from you. Are you selling those tickets? I mean, I understand. I'm not going to sit here and judge you for selling those tickets. But there is a question of whether or not you're a true diehard. The Cubs, when they finally got the monkey off their back and won the World Series, what year was that? 13? 16. And you have tickets to the World Series. What was the game clincher? They ended up winning in how many?
In the World Series?
Yes.
7.
Okay, so the 7th game of the World Series, you have tickets.
Or was it Cleveland?
Let's just play along with it.
I'm going to say, if you're breaking up that example, that game was in Cleveland. And there was a lot of their Cub fans.
Yes. Okay, so we can use that as an example. That's perfect. It doesn't have to be I brought the Cubs because it's your team. You're a Cleveland fan. You're a die-hard Cleveland fan. You've been waiting forever, too, to win a World Series. You have 2 ducats for Game 7 of that World Series. And now you have Cubs fans that want to purchase those 2 tickets off you.
But again,
are you selling those suckers?
You're acting as if they're contacting you directly, but you're putting them on the secondary market. You're just putting them out there, so you'd have no control over what fan buys them.
I know, and you more than likely you got to figure it's going to be a Knicks fan in this situation with Philadelphia. But I'm just for the sake of this discussion, I'm saying you know who they are. You know these are going to be Cubs fans or, in this case, Knicks fans. Some people would say you're not a diehard fan. You waited all this long to be in the playoffs. You're in the playoffs, and now you sell your tickets.
And I'm going to go most times anyway, but Game 7 of the World Series is slightly different than Game 4 of a first-round series.
Okay, so Game 4 of a first-round series, you think that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just saying that there are people that, for whatever, not all of them, but some of them are just, yes, I'll make some money off of this one. Others just, can't go to the game. What time was that game yesterday?
I don't know. It was there early.
It was the early, whatever. They got stuff going on, whatever. They're like, I can't go, so I'm going to sell these tickets.
I know, but if I know any fan base in the world, I know the Philadelphia fan base.
I mean, everybody has a price. I don't care what it is.
Everybody has a price, and I know that it's not unprecedented. It hasn't happened in Philly before. But I'm telling you, in years past, this doesn't happen as much as it did last night, where the Knicks fans took over. They were putting Knicks jerseys on Wilt Chamberlain statues outside the arena. They took over Philadelphia. It's not like taking over. The Yankees fans were in Miami to take on the Marlins, and they took over. This is Philadelphia fans, man. These are good fans. My version of good may be different than your version of good. I'm talking about good, and they buy tickets, they buy season tickets, and they go to games.
I'm sure a part of what happened was people started seeing, what tickets were going for on the secondary market and said, you know what? If I could pay for the rest of the playoffs or whatever by this one game, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
Because again, there is a price. Everybody has a price.
Probably.
There's always and some people probably put them on there at at some ridiculous price. Like, if they'll pay this, yes, I'll willing to sell them. If not, we'll go. But people are getting crazy money for this game. Let's see if we can get crazy money for this game.
You become a business person as opposed to a fan.
Yeah, I mean, again, because you're thinking, okay, wait, I could buy, if I sell these at this price, like, if we advance, I'm paying for the next couple of playoff games or the next series just off this one game. So, yeah, I'll miss one game. Like, if I can get that much money for it, and then all of a sudden somebody pays it, you're like, okay, well, who cares? Like, we just paid for either the next round or part of our season tickets for next year. We just did well of it. Yeah, I don't care what you're talking about in life. There's always a price.
That's why home advantage, home field advantage, home court advantage is not what it used to be necessarily. Because a lot of times in situations you will have where there's a will, there's a way. Fans from the other team that have found ways to get tickets.
And it's why, like, quite frankly, fans of a lot of these teams hope in the playoffs that you get, the Knicks would be one of those, certainly in the East. Here, like, fans want the Golden State Warriors. They want the Lakers. Because if you're a Grizzlies season ticket holder and you want to make, again, pay for next year's season tickets,
so it's more an investment.
Pay for the next round. Like, I know I can sell those tickets for a lot of money compared to what I could sell a ticket to.
So are you a true fan?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, you're not a diehard.
First of all, if you're invested in season tickets, for as expensive as they are, I believe you're a true fan.
And you're right about there's a price for everybody because that goofy Marlins guy ends up at every sporting event with perfect seats, like right behind home plate, or you see the guy everywhere.
There are Grizzlies fans who will make that use the Lakers games throughout the year, the Warriors, or even a playoff game to literally pay for their season tickets the next year.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Like, if that's what you want to do, good. That's great. If you're investing in season tickets, that's a lot of money to invest in a team. You could do what you want.
And I think, in my opinion, that's perfectly fine. That's the regular season. You can make that money that you paid for those season tickets to begin with off a game or two. Do it. But I'm talking about now you're in the playoffs. And I understand what Joel Embiid is saying. They're at home in Philadelphia. He expects complete support from Philadelphia fans. Instead, inundated with New York Knicks.
Yeah, again, I understand why Embiid would be unhappy. And your hope is that not all of the fans basically choose the same game as the one they're going to make their money.
True.
Like, you only think, okay, a few fans are using this game, a few other fans are going to use a different game. But you hope that not thousands of them use one game to all make their money. But that's the way it ends up.
It is New York. They will pay for tickets for Game 6. If Philadelphia can force a Game 6, it's back in Philadelphia, they'll buy tickets for Game 6.
Yeah, Andrew texts in and says, I know some Grizz season ticket holders that have sold tickets to a playoff game and it paid for their next year's season tickets. Another texter says, my grandparents used to sell a set or two of their Grizzlies playoff tickets to help pay for the next year's season tickets. Yeah, again, I mean, if you can, in some of those, again, like, it may be games that you could have gone to and you just choose not to because you want the money. Others, it may be a game you couldn't even have gone to. And so if you can make a big payment towards next year's season tickets off a game you weren't even going to be able to go to anyway, if I can't go to a game and I got the option of like, hey, I got some friends that want to go to the game and they might pay me face value, but I've got somebody, if I put them on the open market, I can get 10 times the face value. Sorry, buddy, but I'm going to take the 10 times the face value because why not?
Again, I am not faulting anybody for doing this. It makes perfect financial sense, but also be expected to get ridiculed, not individually, but as a group, when your fan base doesn't show up to support your team in a playoff game. And that's what's happening in Philadelphia. That's exactly this. Again, this is my hometown, so somewhat 60 miles away. I grew up like you were outside of Chicago. I was outside of Philadelphia. So I'm going to rip apart these fans for not showing up, even though I couldn't care less about the 76ers. The point is, though, when you're at home in the postseason, you expect to have full support. Look at the Chiefs and their playoff games. I mean, if you could find one fan from the other team, good luck. Now, I'm not saying they're there isn't, because there is. But for the most part, real fans, care about what that team does. Once they get to the postseason, they're going to be there to support them. They're not there to just sell, and make money off it.
Yeah, I mean, but football's a little different, too.
Well, just in general, sports in general.
16,000 people
I
there.
understand.
If there's 10,000 opposing fans, you're not really hearing them.
Right. Folks, I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors. It's Shoot 360 Memphis. This is where you go to perfect your shot, no matter what level you may be. You challenge yourself, you compete with others, and you learn the proper ways to shoot the ball using modern analytics. Why not take advantage of the modern analytics? So parents and grandparents and coaches out there, this is the place for your sons, daughters, grandchildren, and players to go. It's also great for adults as well. This is the same system that stars like Steph Curry use. It's a revolutionary training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with expert coaching to improve your shooting skills. The facility is equipped with advanced shooting machines that provide real-time feedback on shooting accuracy, arc and depth. Players can track their programs and analyze their performance. I've been there. It's really incredible. I've seen nothing like it. Players of all skill levels can benefit from the personalized training programs that they offer. They use something called NOAA Analytics, developed by NASA and Carnegie Mellon College. Everything the athletes do in their facility is recorded and stored in a member's app. You can watch their progress in real time. And you just thought you just roll out the basketball and shoot it. No, you want to be the best you can be, and that's what they do. They help you be the best shooter you can be at Shoot 360 Memphis. Currently in Collierville, but they are moving to a bigger space in Cordova, state-of-the-art. It opens up on June 1st. They're taking registrations right now. So if you want to be a part of Shoot 360 Memphis, you can go online to Shoot 360 Memphis to sign up, or give them a call, get more information, ask them to tour the facility, 901-316-5500. That's 901-316-5500 for Shoot 360 Memphis. When we come back, more on the NBA playoffs, including the Suns ousted in 4 straight games, and Milwaukee and their depleted lineup on the brink of elimination. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $31.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's still a little bit slow from our earlier collision we had over there southbound Germantown Road right at Wolf River Boulevard. If that sounds familiar, that's right in that construction zone. Also wrapping up the paperwork on a crash at Walnut Grove at Senga. It's heavy over here now on 240 eastbound at Poplar. This could be that way on and on throughout the day. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out today at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I watched a lot of the second half and the finish of the Clippers-Mavericks game. That was high intensity. That was incredible shot making by superstars. Say what you want about James Harden. He was fantastic down the stretch. Paul George hit that huge triple in the corner, maybe behind the backboard. And then you had the performance of Kyrie Irving. Nobody, and I mean nobody, finishes like Kyrie Irving does. Dallas loses, though, at home after coming back from, 31 down, I think it was?
Yeah, it was a lot. I don't know if I'm not sure exactly what the biggest lead was.
I think it was 31, and it was going to be the largest comeback win in playoff history. But once the Clippers lost the lead, they got it back, and they win 116-111. So that series is even at 2. That one is destined for 7 games. I thought it would be close. It has been close. Luka Doncic is struggling with his shot. He's also struggling with his health. Said that he's apologized to Kyrie that he's not living up to his expectations and not helping out Kyrie as much. I think he's a little hard on himself, but yeah, he didn't have his best game, and they ended up losing that game. But that was tremendous basketball watching it down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason you go to NBA games. Talking about that with the tickets, all that stuff, like to see the superstars do their thing. And when you got them making shots and playing that way. So, it is funny, like, and I get it, like, because he was 1 of 9 from 3-point range and all that stuff, but it's just like Luka apologizing for a 29-point triple-double. Like,
I know.
I'm really letting the team down here. I only had a 29-point triple-double today. But the...
But the ultimate is winning, right? And so I can understand why he's saying, yeah, he's a little hard on himself, but they lost. And they lost at home.
But George and Harden were great. If you're Dallas, you just try to get it to the 7th game at worst because Harden will be terrible in the 7th game, and then you win. That's all you got to do.
And no Kawhi for the Clippers. Clippers won a game with Kawhi earlier in the series and lost a game with Kawhi. No, they won a game without Kawhi.
Yeah, they won
and lost a game.
They lost game 2 with him.
Yeah, with him. I think you'd rather have Kawhi than not have Kawhi, but for whatever reason, they're playing a little bit better without him. And so I think this one, again, Clippers have the home court. They'll have Game 5 at home, and if there's a 7th game, they'll have that at home. But this one's a fun series. Again, just great shot making, and certainly debatable as far as finishing. Michael Jordan, an incredible finisher. There's others that... But Kyrie Irving, what he can do in the air, there was a player that some people will know, Elgin Baylor, Hall of Famer. I remember as a kid watching him play and reading about him, that when he would elevate, he would almost levitate in the air. Like somehow guys jump at the same time as he did, and they're coming down, and he's still up in the air. And then even when he's coming down back to earth, he's able to make the shot. That's what Kyrie did with that incredible shot between three guys, coming down and still hoisting it and making that shot down the stretch. Just incredible. But again, all for naught as they lose.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie, like, I know people, he's weird and turns people off, but like the dude on the court is incredible. I mean, his handles are like amazing. The dude,
they're like butter.
He can do whatever he wants with the basketball. Like, and he can make people look silly at any time. Like he just, I love watching Kyrie Irving play basketball. Like he is as entertaining as it gets. He could do, because he is. I mean, just the way he can handle, pass, get any shot up. Like it's almost impossible to block his shot because he does do so many different things. Like Kyrie on the court is amazing and probably doesn't get the credit he deserves because so many people are turned off by how weird he is.
Well, I'm turned off by how weird he is, but he's locked in with Dallas. He likes I didn't know about the whole combination with Luka, and I thought it was important to go out and get some bigs, which they did with P.J. Washington and Gafford. I still don't think they're an NBA championship team, but they're certainly talented enough to make a run, and to get those bigs really helps. But Kyrie is bought in playing with Luka, and I'm not sure if that was going to work from the get-go, and I'm sure he's bought in playing for Mark Cuban, as everybody who plays in Dallas loves playing for Mark Cuban. The whole Brooklyn thing was a disaster. He just didn't want to play, and there were days he didn't want to show up, and he didn't show up, and there was excuses. So even if he's a wacko, like you said, on the court he's a wizard. And to watch him play the way he's playing and how he's bought in is impressive. But again, they're tied at 2, so that series is a long way to before that one is decided.
If he was a wizard, I bet he would not be.
No, he would not be happy with the Wizards. He wouldn't be playing. Indiana beat Milwaukee 126-113. I watched some of this game, and Milwaukee, I give these guys A for effort. They did not have Giannis. They did not have Damian Lillard. Bobby Portis got ejected early in the game after getting into it with Nembhard. Chris Middleton was injured the entire game, trying to play through an injury. You know, they had Brook Lopez and some others stepping up, and every time they would make a run, which they did numerous times, Indiana with Miles Turner going for 29, Tyrese Halliburton, these guys would make big shot after big shot, and Indiana gets the win, and they lead the series 3-1. So, yes, there are excuses, certainly, for Milwaukee to be trailing in this series because you don't have Giannis. And in this particular game, you're on the road at Indiana, and you don't even have Dame Lillard. But it doesn't take away the fact that Milwaukee, since firing their head coach, who had a gaudy record to go with Doc Rivers, have been pretty much a disaster. And they're going to lose this series, and they're going to be out in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're playing without Giannis and Lillard, there's nothing you can do, really. I mean, I give it, like, Brook Lopez was, did everything he could, and Middleton, like, they were great in keeping them in that game. But Indiana, just every time the Bucks would make that run to get it close, Indiana had the answer. Normally it was Miles Turner. I mean, Miles Turner's making 7 threes on you. You just kind of got to tip your cap and say, I don't know. If he's going 7 of 9 from 3-point range, you're probably not beating Indiana.
Well, they hit 22 as a team. They went 22 of 43, 51.2%. Are you crazy? And you had Halliburton hitting how many? 5? He was 5 of 12. But you're right, Turner. It's all right. Let him shoot from the outside. 7 of 9 threes,
and he hit like every big one. Like every time the Bucks got close, Turner made a big play. He had the dunk on Brook Lopez where I thought he was going to end Brook Lopez at that point. Then like the next possession, he comes down and makes a 3 from the corner, and you're like, well, this is like there's just nothing you can do if you're Milwaukee when he's doing this type of stuff, because Halliburton's going to do his thing. Siakam wasn't even that good necessarily in this game, but And for I mean, Bobby Portis, you can't be that dumb. You're already without Giannis and Lillard. You can't be dumb enough to get yourself ejected. Like, it's amazing to me that he would get himself ejected with as shorthanded as they already were.
Right.
Like that, and that's just.
And you can't say that he shouldn't have been thrown out because he should have been thrown out.
No, 100%. You basically threw a punch. Like, you just can't. Like, that's just pure stupidity that you can't possibly have. But again, playing without Giannis and Damian Lillard, you're pretty much have no chance. You shouldn't have a chance. You're talking about your two. Take the two best players off any team in the league and try and win a road playoff game. Again, we've seen it with the Grizzlies in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. It really sucks when you're trying to play playoff games and you're not at full strength. Let alone your two best players being out. Like, that's virtually impossible to overcome. And with one of them especially is one of the 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to say, best players in the entire league.
How many career points do you think Brook Lopez has? I know the answer. I'm asking you. I know the answer.
A lot. I don't know how many, but he's been around for a long time.
I know sometimes we forget that. That's why
he was an all-star before he even added the three-point shot to his repertoire.
He's got roughly 16,500 career points. He's got 6,300 rebounds. He's won an NBA title. Is he a Hall of Famer?
No. Brook Lopez, I give credit for because Brook Lopez, when he was first in the league, and he became an all-star like as a post-up, back-to-the-basket center.
Right.
And he, like others, realized where the game was going and realized he needed to reinvent himself in order to hang around the league, and he did. And he's become a pretty darn good three-point shooter and has hung around and has been playing at a high level and continues to do so now with the three-point shot being a very big part of his game.
So I don't know, Zach, if you could find this. It might be a lot of research. If it is, don't worry about it. But I wonder how many players, if any, in NBA history, regular season, I'm not even talking about the postseason, have scored 20,000 or more points and are not in the Hall of Fame or are not projected to be in the Hall of Fame. He's not retiring anytime soon, I don't believe, Lopez. He'll more than likely end his career with over 20,000 points. He's been on all defensive teams. I don't know how many times he's been an All-Star, a couple of times. He's got an NBA title. I'm just saying it's not out of the question. You wouldn't think that off the top of your head.
He's a one-time All-Star.
But again, I'll ask that question. Is there anybody that has 20,000 or more points in NBA history that's not a Hall of Famer? There probably is. But I think he'll end up with over 20,000 points.
He said at what right now?
Almost 16.5.
I wouldn't guess he's
3 more years?
I mean, they're putting about 40 years, almost 40 years old.
Yeah, but look, he's still playing really well. And maybe he'll retire tomorrow, and Robin and he will start open up a toy shop. Resurrect Toys R Us.
He scored less than 1,000 points this year.
I'm just saying, if you got to that number, is there anybody that's over 20,000 points that's not in the Hall of Fame? I just threw up that random number. It's a nice, even, round number. There probably is. I mean, longevity sometimes is held against you, but it shouldn't. Like Hank Aaron played nearly 25 years, I believe. But there's excellence there for that entire time, pretty much. So we're not talking about the same guy, Hank Aaron in his sport and Lopez in his sport. I'm just saying as far as the total numbers are concerned. Just curious.
So most of the names are from this current superstar list. One name that kind of stands out more so than others is Tom Chambers. He has 20,000 points, but he's not in the Hall.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and I would say Tom Chambers is better than Brook Lopez. So, yeah, there you go. Good one.
Yeah, I mean, a one-time All-Star is not making the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I thought he was probably, before you said that, I thought he was probably a 4 or 5-time All-Star, to be honest with you. I mean, he's had seasons where he could have been on All-Star, but then we get into the whole numbers game. Okay, sounds good. When we come back, we'll talk about Minnesota and Phoenix last night. The Suns' run with the Big Three, the first year for Bradley Beal in Phoenix, the new owner and Matt Ishbia, did not work out too well.
Folks, over at East Coast Wings and Grill, they will, if you all the games of the NBA playoff games, all of that, they're always on. All the sports action is always on at East Coast Wings and Grill. You can go by, watch the games there, enjoy great food, enjoy great drinks. Tonight, it's a Monday. That means they've got live team trivia as well. So while watching the games, you can enjoy some live team trivia, win some prizes, have some fun. Monday nights, they do that at 7 o'clock over at East Coast Wings and Grill. Again, they've got the baseball package, so all of the baseball games are on. Of course, all the NBA playoff games, anything that's on, they've got it on for you at East Coast Wings and Grill, just off Highway 64, Kate Hyde Boulevard. It runs right between Lowe's and Walmart there off Highway 64 in Bartlett. That's where you'll find them at East Coast Wings and Grill.
You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli, right here on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
It's time to get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, where we're celebrating the 75th anniversary sales event, and it's time you got your new V-Dub on. Get ready to take your pick of 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice, $279.99 a month. Pick the right Volkswagen for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Sports. Or get 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SE for $33,988. So get it done and be ready to ride at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road. Online, GossettVWG.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cross Sport RC 236449, MSRP 38981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax on license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseburgers.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning Corning, and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE 756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, save $8 on a pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades in-store only. We'll even install them for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So the late game from last night, Minnesota and Phoenix. Before we talk about the actual game, well, it is part of the game, but an injury that occurred as a result of Minnesota Timberwolves coach Chris Finch helped off the court late in the game as his team clinched their first-round series over Phoenix, 122-116. He ruptured a patellar tendon in his right knee after a collision with him on the sideline by one of his own players. I think it was Mike Conley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Conley was driving down the court, forced out of bounds by Devin Booker, who was called for a foul. Conley collided with Finch, who went down holding his right knee. He was surrounded by Timberwolves players and staff before being helped up and off the court. The team later confirmed he had ruptured his patellar tendon. What a way to go.
It's not one you see very often. The coach rupturing a patellar tendon in a game. That's a crazy one.
At least the victory and the clincher can ease the pain, I think, a little bit, as Minnesota sweeps Phoenix 122-116. And once again, Anthony Edwards, the stud, didn't start out great, but boy, did he put it into another gear. Hits 13 of 23 from the field, 7 of 13 from 3. He ends up with 40 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and he had a couple of thunderous dunks, one over Kevin Durant and one where he just blew by Bradley Beal like he was standing still. Is Anthony Edwards the face of the future of the NBA? Is it him?
Right now, he is being a part of the Olympic team. We'll see how far the Timberwolves go, but he's the young star.
LeBron's going to be gone soon. KD, Steph Curry, Kawhi, all these studs. You have these unbelievably talented young players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like Jason Tatum, like Devin Booker, like Ja Morant. But I think Anthony Edwards is at the top of the Delta Pledge class. I think he becomes the face of the NBA. And he was absolutely spectacular. Karl Anthony Towns had a really good game with 28 points and 10 rebounds. You had 18 from Jaden McDaniels, who continues to chip in. And this all set 49 from Devin Booker, who got to the free throw line a whopping 21 times and made 20. 33 from Kevin Durant, who added 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 block shots. But the third guy in that triple-headed monster lineup, Bradley Beal, was horrible. 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 6 turnovers, got beat off the dribble, as I mentioned, numerous times by Edwards and others. I don't know. We've talked about this before, about the 3-star model. Is it now going away to maybe just the 2-star model and role players? But it's only the first year, and Beal was hurt to begin the year. But this isn't what Matt Ishbia signed up for. He didn't expect his team to go down in a blaze of glory, not in the first round of the series. First round of the playoffs, rather.
They're just they're in a bad spot. I said before the year I did not think it would work with what they did when they got Beal. They got so much money tied up in them. They have no draft picks because they used them all to acquire this roster. They are in a really bad spot going forward. I don't know. There's really no way out of it. I don't know what you can do other than just ride this out and hope somehow that you're better next year. And I just don't think you are. I mean, they've got what was the Grayson Allen contract? What did they sign him? I don't have that one in front of me. I think that was
See if I can find it for you.
70 million, 60 million.
It was very lucrative.
80, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
So I don't know what the breakdown is. What that
70,000, 4 years, 70,000, 70 million.
Right, 70,000, he'd be a bargain.
70 million. Sorry.
4 years. So I assume that has
4
to
years.
start at least 15 million, and probably goes up with the raises after
I
that.
would think so, right? Here we go. Average annual salary of $17.5 million. In 24-25, he'll earn a base of 15.6.
Okay. Yeah. So 15.6. Yeah. So you add it. So next year, then, just between basically their starting lineup: Durant, Beal, Booker, Nurkic, and Allen. That would be 168, 178, $183, $184 million.
Plus, Eric Gordon makes good money, doesn't he?
So that, no.
He doesn't?
No, he's on like a veteran's minimum.
And then you add in Grayson's contract.
He just
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like 100. They're a first apron team with their starting lineup. Like that's their starting lineup puts them there. And again, you can't. Who's tradable out of that? Like nobody. Who's taking those contracts? Especially when you don't have any draft picks to throw in the deal to like make them take the contract. So I don't know. I just don't know what you can do. You're kind of, and that's why I think they re-signed Grayson Allen the way they did. Like they understand. Like this is it. Like we have this roster, and all we can do is tinker on the edges with veteran minimum contracts. Other than that, we really have no chance of doing a whole lot, unless some team is. I don't again like because they all have not just next year, but at least one more year after that on those contracts. Nasir Little he's at $7 million. He's all the way through 26, 27. So you throw him in there. That's now you're up. You're at basically second apron with 6 guys.
Is this right? There were 260 million payroll this year. It can't be that high, can it?
No, I don't.
That's what Dave Sampson had tweeted out, our buddy. That can't be that high, right? You're right about Gordon, by the way.
This show's at 190.
Okay, I knew that. That was astronomical. But you're right about Gordon. He turned down with the Clippers, I guess, the player option for $21 million for the 23-24 season, and opted to go with as a free agent and sign with Phoenix for 2 years at $6 million total, like 6 and change. I guess expecting an NBA title. Is that correct? That's a lot of money to give up to take a minimum salary, a veteran's minimum. Yeah, $6 million over 2 years. Gordon became a free agent after the Clippers opted. Oh, the Clippers had that decision. Sorry, it wasn't a player option. They opted not to guarantee his $21 million. That makes sense. Okay, so then he goes to Phoenix thinking that the Suns going to have the best chance to maybe win a title.
I mean, just
And here
Durant,
they are. They're
Beal,
done.
Durant, Beal, and Booker are $150 million.
Right.
Between the three of them. And again, and then the following year, 25-26, they're $160 million.
How old's Durant now? 36? 35?
35, somewhere in that range.
30. Yeah, he's 36.
So he's probably got 3 more years. Who's tradable? What's Beal's contract, you said?
Beal's got $50 million next year, $53 the following year. Then
God, that guy.
$57 million player
I don't
option
care.
in 26-27.
People could text me his stats, and I know he's had great games and he's had great seasons. I understand that. But that guy ain't worth $50 million a year. He just isn't. I mean, I watched how Anthony Edwards made him look so bad last night, like he was standing still, like he was in quicksand. That guy ain't $50 million.
And if the Suns are bad in the next few years, the Grizzlies got their pick swaps in 26 and 30.
But I think they won't be
interesting.
They won't be bad. They're just not gonna they're not gonna win. Like they're gonna be stuck probably where they were this year. Like I think they're just a kind of a middle of the pack
fringe playoff play-in team
that
right?
won't go
Somewhere
anywhere. Because those guys are gonna. It's not like if those guys stay relatively healthy,
right?
Like that lineup is gonna get you. Like you're not gonna be a 20-win team with those guys.
No.
So
you're
Minnesota
just kind of embarrassed them.
They're just in this no man's land. And again, I just don't know how you get out of it with no draft picks and that much. And no, obviously, you're way over the cap with no draft picks.
Folks, you want to get charged up? Come out to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. Test drive one of their new EV Blazers. It's still Chevy truck season. If you're looking for a new Silverado, they got loads of Silverados. Financing down to 2.9% for 72 months. Thousands back in cash and trade. New Equinoxes and Trailblazers, 1.9% financing. No payments for 90 days. You want pre-owned? Everything you want is here. Ram trucks, Jeeps, Tahoes, Suburbans. Traverse with that third row seating. If it's not here, you can ask Kevin or Jeff or any of the other great folks at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, and they promise they will do their darndest to find it for you. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, you get an extra $500 bonus when you purchase a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be Olive Branch, Mississippi. So come on out to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com. Hour 3 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Hey Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month. Or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett, $28,350 or $379 a month. And adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett, $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460 Eclipse RZO 342,249 MSRP 29,350 Outlander RZO 43754 MSRP 33,765 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
At Sunrise, both on Jefferson and Poplar, we understand that a lot of the early morning crowd is not early morning at all. We're talking about the heroes that work the overnight shift. These are people that keep the world turning while we sleep. That's why both Sunrise locations have a full bar. If you have a long day ahead of you, you probably want coffee. But if you've been working all night, you might just want a drink. Not only do both Sunrise locations have every cocktail you could want, they also both feature a Bloody Mary bar with a huge selection of fixins. If you just got off work at Sunrise, come have a drink at Sunrise.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still running a little bit slow over here on 240 East up by Poplar. Just give yourself extra time over here on this side of town throughout the day. Heavy, but it's moving on 40 West from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. Still some volume coming down 51 out of Millington through Woodstock. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out today. TomahawkCrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 the time. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Monday, April 29, 2024. We are a couple of days away from May. For goodness sakes, where is the time gone? Memphis in May on the horizon. We're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 69 degrees. We're looking at 73 for a high. Overcast, cloudy skies. Showers and thunderstorms, if they haven't started already, they're on the way. Chance of rain is 80%, so good chance there's going to be precipitation in your neck of the woods. 60 tonight for a low. Thunderstorms during the evening will give way to partly cloudy skies after midnight. And then tomorrow looks like some sun, some clouds, 82 degrees, but the rain should be out of the area. Third hour of the program is brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More, and they invite you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors is located at 6 East Commerce in Hernando, Mississippi. They also have stores in Little Rock and in Cleveland, Mississippi. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. What do? They specialize in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Again, you order from them, in 2 weeks, the job will be done. So contractors, builders, obviously homeowners, call today. They skip the middleman, wholesale prices for you at 662-469-9350. Get a free estimate. In fact, Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins, they are the owners. This is family owned and operated. They'll come to your home or your business, and they will give you a free estimate, show you some samples, and they will get the job done and get the job done well. Again, it is Jenkins Floors and More, the third hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings.
So with Phoenix, if the three guys, if Durant, Beal, and Booker, play out the rest of their contracts there, and presumably they don't win anything of consequence, which it doesn't look like they probably will, they will, since they put them together, so starting with this year when they put the three of them together, they will pay those guys $619 million combined. Not to mention basically every draft pick they've had that they gave up to get all of this put together. And that does not count luxury tax dollars that you're going to have to pay because you're paying these guys all that much money. Like, this will go down. I mean, this will, again, if it goes where it looks like it's going, this will be one of the all-time colossal disasters by a front office in NBA history.
Could be, and Ishbia, the owner, comes in. He knew what he was walking into. But, and maybe I'm not comparing apples to apples here, we joked about the trade between Minnesota and Utah with Rudy Gobert going to Minnesota and what they had to give up. And now Minnesota's in a position to make a run in the Western Conference. But you're right. If Phoenix, if we're projecting ahead that they don't get it done, and how many years on each of the big three left? Contractually, what are they?
Durant has 2 more, Beal has 2 and a player option, and Booker has 4.
Okay, so let's go to the middle. Let's say 3, right? Beal goes in on his player option. He's with Booker. Durant maybe inks for 1 more after that. So 3 more years and this year. 4 years if they don't get it done, and it doesn't look like they will from the makeup of that team. As you're right, there's no other assets. They're having to get veterans on veteran minimums like they did with Eric Gordon. That is a colossal screw-up. That's exactly what it is. When they first got Bradley Beal, I thought it had a chance to work. I didn't realize, again, I've watched a lot of Bradley Beal now recently. I don't know. I know he's a really good player, so I don't need the texts. But it's just something that doesn't fit. And then they went out and they give $70 million to Grayson Allen. Who's a good three-point shooter, good role player. He's not, is he hurt? Is he playing, Grayson Allen?
He hurt his ankle in the game 2 or whatever.
That's what I thought.
He set out.
So they don't have him. That's when they needed some guys like Beal to step up and shoot threes. Eric Gordon coming off the bench.
I mean, Beal's just nowhere near what he was. Like, he's injured. He's getting old. He's 30 years old. Like, he's been through injuries. Like, Bradley Beal isn't the player he used to be.
Yeah, but you paid him that money. 30 is not ancient. It's not young in basketball years, but it's not ancient. But he's banged up, and you were willing to give him that money, and he's going to graciously say yes to it. So I don't know what Ishbia can do. Already paying the luxury tax. So Phoenix, they're in a heap of trouble for the next few years. I just don't see it working out. Now, Minnesota on the flip side is a team that has everything going right now. Here's the thing. Mike Conley, you got Anthony Edwards, as I said earlier, I think will become the face of the NBA. Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, but the conductor is up there in age. So I don't know if Minnesota, to get it done, because I still don't think they're as good as Minnesota, as Denver, will they, and I don't know what Mike's situation is with his contract. will they have to get a different point guard? And will that take them over the threshold? But that's another one of those young teams that the Grizzlies will be competing against next year, plus Oklahoma City, if they're able to keep those guys intact. Oklahoma City tonight will try to polish off New Orleans and sweep them in 4. New Orleans, unfortunately, lost Zion Williamson, who can't stay healthy. But when he's healthy, we know how dominant he is and how dominant they can be. But they got to tweak their roster as well. But that's, again, a team that, when all healthy, is dangerous. We've talked about Dallas with the improvement by getting the bigs. We've talked about the Clippers, but where are they going in their future? Kawhi is down to his, final year or two, I would think. And then the up-and-comers, the young teams like Houston. And remember, they'll get that guy from New Zealand. I forget his name. Used to play for the Grizzlies. He'll be a part of that team next year. And then San Antonio with Victor Wembanyama and wherever they're going to end up picking in the lottery. These are up-and-coming young teams. It is going to be very interesting for the Grizzlies. Will they pick up where they left off 2 seasons ago? Knock on wood, they all stay healthy and come back. And then they got to add, right? They got to do a little more than tweak. They got to add. They got to figure out what they're going to do with the other big. But are they thrust back into that 2 spot behind Denver? I don't know. Not with what I'm seeing from everybody else. Certainly they'll be one of the competitors. They'll be one of the teams that'll be near the top, I would think, with what they have. They got great firepower. But some of these young teams, these up-and-coming teams, but Phoenix is not one of them, despite the three-headed monster, the star power. That's a problem.
I mean, again, the Timberwolves, they're in a salary cap bind. They don't even know who their owner is going to be. They got to fight over who's going to actually be the owner. But they're in a salary cap situation that they've got to figure out. I don't know that they're going to be willing to pay luxury tax and things like that. And they're
right.
So they've got to make some real hard decisions on guys. So
don't you trade Karl Anthony Towns?
Well, that's fine, except for the fact that he's signed through 2007-28. Like their teams aren't just like, yeah, give me $60 million a year for the next 4.
You don't think he's worth it, right?
They're just hard to trade that. Like, he's got nearly $200 million of guaranteed money, then a $61 million player option. Like, that teams aren't just like, yeah, I'll sign up for 5 more years or 4 more years.
Then why do they sign these? Do they have a
because
gun?
You have to.
They have a gun to their head in signing these players
from Minnesota,
for a massive
you don't get to go sign free agents.
Contracts?
So when you got a guy, you sign him to a max contract. Same like the Grizzlies. You don't get to just go sign free agents. You sign your own guys. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, but nobody else is going to
That's
spend
again
that kind
why
of money.
I say the Gobert trade was idiotic, because they took on $40 million contract where they had a cheaper version. You knew you were paying Towns. You knew you had to pay Anthony Edwards. So you were going to be, maybe he's willing to just go into the second apron and all that stuff. I can't imagine that would be. Of course, we don't even know who that is. Again, it could be A-Rod.
It could be A-Rod, right?
It could be, what's his name, Taylor still. Who knows? But, I mean, next year they're at $175 million already.
It's idiotic if
that's not even counting Conley's. That they're at $185 million counting Conley's extension.
Right.
For next year. And that's with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys.
Wait, Mike's for next year is what? Is it an option?
Mike's signed a 2-year extension. Was it 2-year, $20 million, something like that extension?
Yeah. So he's got 1 more year under that new deal.
No, 2 years.
He's got 2 years, a 2-year extension.
Oh, 2-year extension. And that'll put Mike at what, 38?
Yeah, he'll be 38.
But to get back to your point about Minnesota, if Minnesota gets to the Western Conference Finals, I mean, there's only one winner each year. So you got to judge on what's an accomplishment, what's not. Minnesota, with making that trade to Gobert, they looked at him as the piece that they needed. And Anthony Edwards has exploded into a superstar. So now your expectations got to be we're getting to the Western Conference Final. Anything short of the Western Conference Final, and then you go, yeah, I mean, maybe the moves we've made haven't been good, but maybe we can get there next year. I don't think the story has been written completely about Minnesota. Whereas with Phoenix, I think they're in trouble. I think they're in big trouble right now. And there's a couple of other teams. The Clippers, they have to seize the moment right now. I don't know about their long-term future. Although Ballmer's he's spending money. There's no question. He'll spend money. Ishby will spend money. They'll pay tax. They don't care. But some of these others don't want to. Obviously, Memphis doesn't want to. So they got to maneuver around some things. But at least they've committed to the guys, like you said, that they had to commit to. But now you got to strike. And what did they have? A disastrous year. They had a disastrous year. Not their fault. But the previous 2 years when they finished second in the West, yeah, some injuries, suspension from Ja, stupidity from Dylan Brooks. I mean, there's a lot of things. You just can't keep writing it off. Oh, we'll do it next year. We'll do it next year. We'll do it next year. Well, the window closes on you, and other teams get better. But right now, is anybody beating Denver? Now, the Lakers won Game 4, and they'll play tonight in Game 5. The Lakers have to win in Denver to keep the series going. Have they announced yet whether Jamal Murray will play? Do you know, Zach? Is he a go? If Murray goes, Denver's winning Game 5 tonight. It's over.
I have not seen their injury report.
I haven't either.
If he can't go, I think the Lakers can force Game 6. I don't think they're winning the series, but I think they can force Game 6. But Denver's proven with the best player in the NBA right now, you could argue with me if you want, but Jamal Murray next to him is the 1-2 punch. You don't need the 1-2-3 punch.
They have him as questionable for tonight's game.
Okay. So if it was the Grizzlies, Eli, questionable would mean he'd be playing.
Most of the time.
I don't know if that's the situation with Denver. But Denver's just, they've done it right. The front office has done it right. With role players like Porter, like Gordon. The draft ended up being a great pick in that Christian Brown guy from Kansas. But the star power is two guys. It's Jokic and Murray. And a couple of years ago when Murray was hurt, Denver doesn't win it. They don't make the run. They need Murray. And as long as Murray's healthy, I don't think Denver is going to be beaten, at least by anybody in the West. Now we'll see what happens to Boston. Boston will play Miami tonight, leading that series 2-1. And on Saturday, they clock the Heat, as they should, after losing Game 2 in Boston. They go down to Miami and win that one by 20.
But the thing is, with Denver, you could say it's a two-star system, but they're paying guys like Michael Porter Jr. is paid as a star.
He might be paid as a star, but he's not a star.
I know, but again, when it comes to salary cap and all that stuff, like he's paid as a star. Like, so you're, as far as that, I mean, they've got $190 million committed next year. Now if you're winning championships, I'm sure they'll be willing to pay all that. But some of these teams have to make these decisions.
Do you know why Michael Porter's as good as he is? Because of Nikola Jokic. That's why he's as good as he is. He's a good player. He's a really good player because of Jokic. Jokic makes everybody better. Everybody better. But again, tonight, 3 games, Boston, Miami. Boston leading 2-1, only a matter of time with Jimmy Buckets out. Oklahoma City and New Orleans. Again, OKC goes for the sweep. And then the Lakers in Denver. Again, the Lakers try to stave off elimination down in that series 3-1. We talked about the Sunday games. Saturday games, mentioned the Celtics beat the Heat. The other game was your favorite series, the Magic and the Cavs. What have we had, 4 blowouts with the home team winning every single game? That series 2-2. Franz Wagner. There was a Franz Wagner sighting, Eli. 34 points for Franz Wagner. So that series is 2-2.
The Pelicans in 3 games, 92, 92, and 85. They can't score.
Yeah, and let me go back.
If you can't score more than 92 points, again, this with the grit and grind Grizzlies aren't. This is the grit and grind Grizzlies. Like, if you can't score more than 92 points, you certainly aren't beating Oklahoma City. They just cannot score.
Well, again, and here's the thing with Zion. He was fun to watch for most of the season. He stayed healthy. And then when push came to shove, the most important part, the postseason, he gets hurt again. You can't depend on him. C.J. McCollum is, I hate to say it, a shell of his old self. 2 for 8 from 3, not consistent. Murphy is a decent three-point shooter. I don't know if Willie Green knows how to use Valanciunas. One game will play 38 minutes, and then one game he plays 12 minutes. He goes back and forth with him. Herb Jones is more of a defensive player, not a great scorer. And then there's Ingram, who's kind of an enigma. I don't know. They have a lot. Larry Nance off the bench, Larry Nance Jr. They have Marshall. They have Alvarado. They have Hawkins, who's seldom used, the kid from Connecticut who has talent. I think they have a lot of pieces, but those pieces aren't necessarily put in the right spots.
Well, they don't have a point guard. That's the issue. Like they need a point guard.
Yeah, I agree.
In the worst way.
That's their thing. Like they need a point guard.
Well,
and McCollum isn't as good as he used to be, and Ingram is right now like I don't even think he's fully healthy. And without Zion, like it's a rough go. But in the end, like with that team, they need a point guard.
Where does Oklahoma City stand with their star players and contracts? Like, where are things with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren? The reason I ask is when you have
SGA is getting paid now.
SGA is getting paid. Holmgren still has
got, he's
2 more years, right?
3 more before they really have to.
Okay, and Jalen Williams has a couple of years, right? So you're going to have to pay those guys. Giddey's the guy I think that would make sense in New Orleans to run that offense. And I'm not sure if that's something viable when you're talking about, because you're not paying 4 guys, Oklahoma City. Not to mention, guys like Lou Dort, who won't get tons of money, but is a very good.
So Dort's signed for 3.
What's his salary? 15?
He gets 16 next year, 17 the following year, and then they got a team option.
But it adds up, right? It adds up once these other guys.
Oklahoma City's in a great spot because
for the next couple of years.
Next year they got $102 million committed,
right?
Because after SGA at $35 million, you've got Dort at $16 million, Holmgren's $10 million, Giddey's $8 million. Like there's nobody getting paid.
That's why you have to strike right now if you're Oklahoma City. Would you rather be in the situation that the Thunder are in or the Grizzlies?
The Thunder, because they haven't paid their guys. The Grizzlies have had to start paying their guys.
Absolutely. That window of paying the guys, of winning before the guys were paid, has passed for the Grizzlies. So that's why it's so pivotal right now really pivotal for Minnesota, but for Oklahoma City over the next couple of years. But can they dethrone Denver? Which, again, to me, if Oklahoma City doesn't beat, if they play Denver and they don't beat Denver, again, just reemphasize the point why Jokic is the most valuable player. Let me see somebody dethrone them, and then I'll possibly change my mind. He is so important. He's going to keep those teams in the West who are right now on the precipice, keep them at bay. Along with those other players on that team, Murray, as I talked about, being so important. Speaking of Oklahoma City, Mark Dagnall named the Coach of the Year. Not a surprise.
No, he won it easily. Certainly was the easy favorite there. What I find interesting about that, and this could serve as a little bit of a note for teams, the top 4 guys in Dagnall, Mosley, Chris Finch, Joe Mazzulla, all guys in their first NBA head coaching job. Not recycled guys like
Doc Rivers.
All first-time guys. All got their job with these teams, and now they're the top 4 guys Coach of the Year this year, the voting.
Interesting.
Dagnall came from the G League. Guys some were assistants. Some came, he came from the G League. Other guys started, like Mosley, who started as a player development guy, worked his way up. Like all of these things, like they similar roots in that they all started at the lower level and just worked their way up, got their first head coaching job with these teams, and that's your top 4 guys. And there were others, like Tom Thibodeau was in there. I think he was actually 5th. There are the recycled coaches, but like the top 4, all guys who are first-time head coaches with their current team.
Yeah, they've done fantastic jobs, no question about it. Any other notes you got before we take the break on the NBA?
No.
All right. Tell you folks about Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Great option today for lunch, for dinner tonight. Anytime's a good time for Corky's. You can dine in at any of their 4 locations: Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. They've been serving up that delicious slow smoke barbecue for nearly 4 decades, and they've been catering nearly the entire time they've been in existence. That's why you'll see that Corky's truck or those trucks all over the Mid-South. You can also have this great barbecue shipped anywhere in the country. But you got an event coming up, you want it catered, contact Corky's. They have lunch specials every single day. In fact, I stopped over there one of the days last week and got myself a pulled pork sandwich. Absolutely out of this world, as it always is. You get add a third of a rack of ribs for just $6.99 when you purchase a barbecue sandwich. They have great entrees, even outside the barbecue family, like their award-winning catfish plate, juicy hamburgers, tamales, great desserts as well. You can reserve their private party room at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch location for a birthday party, family reunion, anniversary get-together, whatever the case may be, graduation party. Did I say that? You can do that at the 2 locations in Cordova and in Olive Branch. It's Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
The times they are a-changin'. Bob Dylan's song is even more meaningful today in the real estate industry. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Benstorff Realtors, and in the months to come, if you decide to sell your home, you better have a knowledgeable agent to guide you through the changes that are taking place. As I tell people, it's not that you don't know the answers, you don't know the questions. So, if you or someone you know is thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 experienced real estate brokers to guide you through the changes, but make sure that I am one of them. I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in when you sell and what you make. We're also affiliated with leading real estate companies of the world, a relocation network that means added exposure for your home from buyers moving into the Memphis area. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, all shell done. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Hey, hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Thoroughbred Racing is combining its tradition of hands-on care with cutting-edge technology, raising safety standards to the highest levels. New investments in wearable biometric devices, AI, and advanced imaging to help reduce injury risk. And the sport's new independent regulator, HISA, is implementing uniform rules, testing, and strict enforcement, an ecosystem of care, and a commitment to protect horse and rider. It's safety that runs first. To learn more, visit safetyrunsfirst.com.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Well, this should come as no surprise. Vlad Golden, the 7-footer from Florida Atlantic, who jumped into the portal and then said he was looking into the draft, is withdrawing from the NBA draft and signing with the Michigan Wolverines, where he will rekindle his relationship with head coach Dusty May, the former Florida Atlantic head coach, now with the Wolverines. He averaged 15.9 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks this past season for Florida Atlantic. So a couple of things. One, at Michigan, Vlad Golden, I don't know, is Vlad Golden, was he born in the States or is he from Russia? The whole NIL thing, it gets confusing. Again, when we talk about foreign players, there's ways to pay these players, but usually not the amount that you can get if you're an American-born player. But the point is, NIL resources a lot deeper at Michigan. And Dusty May has assembled a bunch of his former players, although John L. Davis will not be one of them. It also brings up the question.
So assemble the Twin Towers now, too. They got the two 7-footers.
Why not? But it brings up the question, will Florida Atlantic be able to throw out 5 players? We've gone from, and I know it wasn't a long-standing, this established program that's on the precipice of becoming a blue blood. I understand that with Florida Atlantic. But for the last 2 years, we've talked about Florida Atlantic. So now the American Conference gets even weaker with Florida Atlantic completely in disarray with the loss of Dusty May and no apparent effort, in my opinion, that they'll put in the future. I've talked to folks from Florida Atlantic that were here for baseball, that they're not going to put all this money into the basketball program. So it may have been just one of those flash-in-the-pan type things with Dusty May. That hurts, again, Memphis. It hurts the whole American Conference to have Florida Atlantic now not even be a team that you look at that has some ability to get to the NCAA tournament. Now that's out the window.
It was never a sustainable thing. They got hot and made a run as a 9 seed. That's what it was.
In the meantime, we were talking earlier about Penny Hardaway and his comments on the Coaches Show on Channel 5 and about the possibility of now getting a deal done with John Calipari, who's the coach at Arkansas. Again, I'll believe it when I see it, but Penny believes there's a better chance because there's more people here in the area with Arkansas ties that would love to see that. I think John still likes to do the bye game, not the bye game, but the neutral site game. But I would love to see that. I am, for one, interested, not only the reaction that John would get, but I think that he should be recognized if they can get a home-and-home series with Arkansas, that when John Calipari comes back as the Arkansas basketball coach, that he is given some sort of recognition by the university for the amazing 9-year run that they had under his leadership, as opposed to, oh, boo, John left to go to Kentucky, and he said it was his dream job, and he stayed there for a bunch, and then he left to go to Arkansas. I think that, and I'm hot and cold with John. Like a lot of things about him, a lot of things. I mean, did you read the story? It wasn't a story. It was retweeted on X. I think it was an IG post or something from Antonio Burks. Did you see that by chance? Not. Antonio Burks talked about how John Calipari, when Tone had gotten shot and was down on his luck and lost all his money, that Cal basically paid for a whole year, gave him money, paid for his bills, all this stuff. It was a great post from Antonio Burks. And that doesn't surprise me. That guy is loyal to players. It's not some guy using players for his... No, he cares genuinely about those players. That's one of the main things I love about Calipari. There's other things I don't like as much. But John coming back to Memphis, if it ever happened, should be saluted. Not just by the fans, again, this school. I think there should be some kind of something done for him if it happens. People probably disagree with me. They're shaking their heads right now going, no way. He's the enemy. I still think something should happen. He should be saluted for what he did. Players are brought back occasionally. Players are given spots in the M Club Hall of Fame, or they're recognized at a game. I think it should happen if that does occur. But I still will believe it when I see it, and only believe it when I see it, that they can get a deal done. But Penny is going to try. I guarantee you that Penny has reached out to probably every coach imaginable with a good program that can help strengthen the net and the other analytics for Memphis from a non-conference point of view.
Someday, John Calipari, I think will be honored by the university, but it'll be after he's done coaching, I believe. And if he comes in here coaching another team, it's not going to be a positive reaction to him. And he does. He's done great things. Obviously, he did great things as the coach here, and he's done a lot of stuff for a lot of people in this community.
Sure has.
A lot of it that people, that he didn't do it to get any attention for it. Does it without any attention whatsoever. But yeah, and someday fans will get over the idea that he spurned them and went somewhere else. But I don't think it'll be while he's coaching another team.
See, I like to see it. The Grizzlies do things like Dylan Brooks came back with Houston and they had a video tribute. They've done it with a number of players. I like that they do that while the players are still playing. Well, I would like to see that while the coach is still coaching. A couple of other notes. Candace Parker officially announcing her retirement, an incredible career in professional basketball, U.S. Olympic team, WNBA, but also for those years as an amateur at the University of Tennessee. Boomer Esiason leaving the NFL today on CBS. After 22 years, he'll remain at WFAN in New York. I went to school with Boomer at the University of Maryland, was a hell of a quarterback, but also a very good broadcaster, but leaving the NFL today. He and Phil Simms had that nice tandem for years and years.
And they kind of look like brothers.
Yeah, somewhat.
We were talking earlier about the Knicks Philadelphia game and the fans from New York. And Raider Corey had texted in. He says, hopefully no one gets defensive or takes things personal, but some people just aren't fortunate to attend a lot of games, including playoffs, tournaments, without getting free tickets or perks for being in a certain industry or being in a certain profession. Including myself and my wife. We get perks for doing certain things, including FedEx golf tournament, Tigers games, local gyms, and no one turns those things down. So I summarize, unlike Embiid or whoever, it doesn't bother me how people prioritize or allocate what they choose to pay for. Discretionary income is a thing. Again, obviously, people can do whatever they want with their money. Sure. Again, that's like, if you are a season ticket holder, to me, you are a fan of that team, and that's a lot of money, especially the NBA level and any of these sports. I mean, if you're invested, especially if you are like full season ticket holder, not like splitting them with anybody, whatever. If you're buying the full season ticket package, you are committed to that team. And if you want to sell a game here or there to help pay for those season tickets, I certainly understand that.
Well, I said it earlier. I understand that as well. However, it would be interesting to see that, that old man fan, like from the Cubs when they won the World Series. I've been a season ticket holder for 60 years, and they're playing here in Game 6 of the World Series, and I decided, well, the hell with it. They're going to give me $10,000 for my seat. I'm selling that darn thing.
Now, going back to what Raider Court talked about, if you're somebody, especially if you're a fan of the team, and you got free tickets for a game, and then you chose to sell those just to make a profit off it, that I got a problem.
That's BS. That's absolute BS.
If you're given free tickets to a game as a fan of that team, you should be going. However you got those free tickets. That I don't like making a profit off somebody else giving you free tickets. But again, if you invested the money, if you invested the thousands of dollars in season tickets, and you want to recoup a little bit of that, and you know you can. I know a lot of Grizzlies fans who, with their season tickets, again, when the Lakers come in, when Golden State comes in, some of these other teams, they'll put their tickets on the secondary market at a somewhat ridiculous price. On the idea, if somebody's willing to pay that, I'll take it. If not, I'll go to the game. But hey, I'll see what's out there and see if somebody wants to pay me that price in order to go to this game, so that, again, I can recoup a lot of my money for my season tickets off of one game. Because especially if the Lakers are coming in twice in a year, well, yeah, I'll sell one of the games. Or a lot of people are like, listen, I've already spent these season tickets. I've seen LeBron play for 20 years. I don't need to see LeBron anymore. If somebody that hasn't seen LeBron wants to pay me a bunch of money for my tickets, more power to them.
I understand. I agree. But then let's stop the belly aching when the Warriors are in town and you see a ton of Steph Curry jerseys or a ton of LeBron jerseys when the Lakers are in town.
You don't hear me belly aching about that.
Not you. But people still bellyache. How can that happen? Where are the Grizzlies fans? How can they let those Lakers fans buy the tickets? We hear that. We've heard it for years and years and years. So, again, I'm with you, but stop the bellyaching then, because you know what's happening. They're buying those tickets from those people that are putting them on the open market.
Mother's Day is almost here, and Genesis Diamonds, they are there to help you celebrate her in a big way. Whether it's her first Mother's Day or 60th Mother's Day, she'll definitely appreciate something thoughtful from the folks at Genesis Diamonds. And the great thing about Genesis Diamonds, you don't have to break the bank to get that great gift for mom. They've got something for every budget out there, a fantastic collection of great sentimental gifts that she can wear all of the time. Necklaces, gemstone bracelets, rings, pearls, eternity bands, diamond pendants, whatever it is. Genesis Diamonds, massive, massive selection at great, great prices. They've been here for just over a year now. They have taken the jewelry market by storm. People continue to be amazed on a daily basis when they walk in. Check out the selection, the prices, and the service they get at Genesis Diamonds. So help celebrate mom in a special way with something special from Genesis Diamonds this year. Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended.
The NBA announces that the Pacers and the Spurs will play 2 regular season games against each other in January 2025 as part of the NBA Paris Games. So those Parisians will be buying up tickets to see their native son, Victor Wembanyama, We'll see how many of them sell them on the open market when we come back, our final segment, including a great day it was yesterday for the Zurich Classic on the PGA Tour. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Regions Bank presents Live at the Garden at Radians Amphitheater June 6th with Dierks Bentley. This summer's lineup also includes the Goo Goo Dolls, John Fogerty with George Thorogood, Sam Hunt, and Styx with Foreigner. All season and individual tickets on sale 10 a.m. Monday. Live at the Garden is also presented by South State Duncan Williams, AutoZone, True Green, The Lilly Company, Gossett Motors, Pro Show, and Mahaffey Events. For more information, go to radiansamp.com.
Hey Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month, or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $28,350 or $379 a month, and adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460 Eclipse RZO 342,249 MSRP 29,350 Outlander RZO 43754 MSRP 33,765 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
It's time to get charging in your new Charger from Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike during our Dodge Power Shot days, and it's your last call to charge forward and pay less. New 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, we Gossett at $27,599, $27,599 or $419 a month. That's $10,000 off MSRP. Plus 2023 Dodge Charger Scat Pack now $7,000 off MSRP or $659 a month. And get to Gossett during Ram Truck Month. 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab $6,000 off MSRP. Plus 0% for 72 months on select models. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett
motor cars.
All 75 months at 8.99. Charger PH 636 167, MSRP 37715. Scat PH 612877, MSRP 55110. Ram RG 19347.2, MSRP 65925. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Early Monday morning to Friday at 5, man,
I mentioned Boomers out as one of the analysts on NFL and CBS. Phil Simms apparently is as well. Pro Football Talk, our friend Mike Florio saying shake up. Simms is out, Boomer's out, Matt Ryan in, James Brown, Nate Burleson, Bill Cowher staying put. They shake up the set for the NFL on CBS. So yesterday they concluded the Zurich Classic. That's the tag team match on the PGA Tour. No big deal, right? Usually don't talk about that. Well, Rory McIlroy decides he's going to play with his buddy Shane Lowry. You talk about giving this tournament a lift. They win it. First hole of a sudden death playoff with Chad Ramey and Martin Traynor. Who? The comedy stylings of Chad Ramey and Martin Traynor. So this tournament, first of all, you get the gate. I'm not sure what it usually does. It's New Orleans. Maybe some people in there reveling, partying, having a good time. But you got Rory, the added attraction. So that many more people are going to want to watch. This is the first time he's played this event. Yeah, I think he was having beers with his buddy Lowry. They decided they're going to play. They play, they win. If that means he's coming back next year, he's going to defend his title, him and Shane, God willing. Yet it could have been Chad Ramey and Martin Traynor who would have won, which would have gotten no notoriety. No, probably PGAtour.com wouldn't even have put that up there. That's how much of a difference it is for that tournament to have a guy like Rory McIlroy play and win.
Then Rory's saying, don't stop believing.
How about that? I couldn't tell what his voice sounded like because there was thousands of others that were singing along, but he was up there with a beer, and Lowry looked out of place more than any. I mean, it was bad enough.
Shane did not want a microphone.
Shane was just standing there with a beer and didn't want any part of it. But there's Rory singing "Don't Stop Believing." So it's his 25th PGA Tour victory. Although there are some of the diehards that say the team competition shouldn't count because he surpassed a couple of guys with his 25th win. What do you think about that?
It's a PGA Tour win.
Yeah. Just happens to be.
There's no debate about that.
It's a win for Lowry. It's a win for.
It's a PGA Tour event. He won it.
Yeah, it's a win for Lowry, and it's a win for Rory. But that's number 25. Again, to have him play in that event, such a lift for that event. And it's not like the numbers are bad as far as attending the events, and we'll have ours in August. But as far as viewing the PGA Tour events, the numbers are down across the board. I don't know what the numbers were yesterday, but with Rory in competition, I'll guarantee it was a lot better than it would have been.
So now the report's coming out from The Athletic. Kevin Durant never felt comfortable with his role in the offense under Frank Vogel. So there you go. Durant's going to, and this is not a surprise. Everybody figured Frank Vogel will get fired. They'll run it back next year, expect different results, and probably get the same ones.
So The Athletic goes on to say there are three choices. There's going to be a lot more than that if Frank Vogel does indeed get fired, and he probably will, right? You can't fire the players. We just talked about Phoenix. Mark Jackson, who I still don't understand why he isn't back into coaching. Mike Budenholzer, who makes perfect sense. And then, again, you always argue with me about this, but J.J. Redick. Why is J.J. Redick being considered without any coaching experience? Because his exposure. They watch him on ESPN. They watch him break down games. They watch him as a tactician, and they go, you know what? This guy knows his basketball. It's not because he used to make three-pointers playing for Duke and playing in the NBA. J.J. Redick, I don't think will get the job, but J.J. Redick is being He was considered for something else as well here recently. But J.J. Redick's name pops up. Budenholzer.
J.J. Redick's being considered because his agent's trying to get him a head coaching job.
But again, the exposure, only reason why
there's other guys who got these without being on TV.
I know, but I'm just saying it does. You will never give in, even though example after example after example.
Because there's example after example of it not happening.
No, the point is, J.J. Redick is. If J.J. Redick was right now, I don't know, working at a car wash or doing something or just retired on the golf course, his name would never pop up.
If he wanted a job, he would because his agent gets him in there.
They wouldn't even consider interviewing J.J. Redick if right now
Why
he
did
was
Derek
retired.
Fisher get a job? Why did Steve Nash get a job? They weren't on TV.
J.J. Redick is being considered because of the exposure. ESPN has done that with every single coach out there.
There's no truth whatsoever to that.
We'll agree to disagree.
I know we will.
Every time it happens. Every single time.
Then why isn't Mark Jackson back in coaching?
If Mike Greenberg wants to be a coach, they'll probably interview Mike Greenberg because he breaks down. It's just ridiculous. Tannenbaum will be back. He'll be coaching soon. If they want to, they'll be coaching soon. But Budenholzer makes perfect sense. Mark Jackson, I still don't get it. There must be something. He rubs them the wrong way. I like his ability to coach, and then we'll see what other names. But again, it's not official yet. Vogel isn't gone yet. So there we go.
He'll just be gone shortly.
He'll be gone.
He'll be gone within a couple of days.
Because, as you said, KD never was comfortable. You got to make KD comfortable. You got to make the players comfortable.
Speaking of being comfortable, you want to be comfortable in your shoes when you're out there running or walking or exercising, and that's what they'll do for you. If you go see the folks at Fleet Feet, they'll watch the way you run, the way you walk, and they'll get you fitted with shoes that are just right for you to make sure you're comfortable with no problems, no injuries, no issues when you're out there running and walking or doing any exercise or just on a daily basis, especially if you're on your feet a lot. You want to make sure you got shoes that are just right for you. Go see the folks at Fleet Feet. You can see them in East Memphis in the Laurelwood Shopping Center. You can see them in Collierville, Poplar, and Houston Levy next to Huey's. You go in there, they'll take good care of you. Plus, beyond the shoes, anything else that you need, well, they got all that gear that you need for your running and exercising. They'll take care of that. Plus, they can give you advice if you're just getting started with running, if you're training for races, any of that stuff. They're all runners. They can help you there. You can get involved with their group runs and other things they do as well. Go to fleetfeetmemphis.com or social media to find out things they've got going on, or just go see them at either one of the two locations of Fleet Feet.
Final note, in case you missed this, over the weekend, former Ole Miss center Jamarian Sharp played 1 year with the Rebels, charged with aggravated assault. Tomorrow, Jeff Crane, the interim AD for the University of Memphis, will join us. Mickey Barker in our weekly golf segment. We'll have Humdinger's Trivia. It all gets underway beginning bright and early at 7 a.m. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next, minus Dave Woloshin, as Bryant Dacus and Zach Boyd will pinch hit for Wolo. For Eli and for Zach, I'm Greg. Have a great day, everybody.